How did it ever come to this? Screwing up the beginning of my own show, appearing unready and out of character, like some kind of amateur streamer. It's pathetic, really. Pathetic, like my attempts to make a video on time. Can't all these people in the chat understand how hard I work? How much I suffer for my art? Look at them just having fun in there, so blissfully unaware. Yes, Quantum Infinity, the camera does work, doesn't it? Mel Archie is upset about something. If only they knew. Oh, somewhere deep inside of these bones, an empty... This video has been flagged for copyright. Wait a minute. Is my mic on? Has my mic been on this whole time? I meant for it to be on. Yes. I forget all those things I said. I didn't try to sing. This is all part of the show. And the echo? It's not because I'm in a big cavernous space station. I'm in a cool, state-of-the-art studio that's my very own. Everything's cool. Everything is under control. I guess I better get ready to actually be on the air. There's a person called I'm a Tree in the chat. Is it one of the trees I saved with my Team Trees video? I'm sure it is. Enough foolishness. It's time to get serious. Be gone, Echo! In the fake video industry, the debunkings are represented by two separate but equally important parts. The flashy superhero who presents the information, and the lowly interns who do all the work behind the scenes. These are their stories. Hello! Off to a rocky start, as always, with your best friend, Alan, the captain's intern, still unpaid. Here, sitting at this computer as I have been sitting for over a month now, working on the next video. Glad to see you all. As you might recall, last time, we were joined by our new friend Sammy, and we were brainstorming the actual script for this video that I'm working on now. But I don't see Sammy with us today. I don't see any insert windows. What is happening? Well, let me explain. Sammy is a very diligent writer, very diligent worker. She worked so hard on the script, she typed so fast that she got sucked into the computer. She just got sucked right into the Tron world, and frankly, I haven't seen her since. But they say that if you listen carefully to the static in your earbuds, you might just hear a familiar voice.
No.
You scared me. You really did.
Hello.
Like, how many things can go wrong? Hey.
Apparently there is a desync audio issue.
Is it? What's wrong?
Your lips do not match your voice.
Oh, well, I noticed that last time. Wasn't this an issue last time?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those. Is it like it's less than a second, right? Like a
I
little bit?
have no idea.
Okay, well,
I have the
it's
video muted.
probably somebody very picky, like me,
Mm,
critiquing the video. So it's probably tolerable.
there's more than one person.
Really? Well, I guess it might just be, a bad connection or like a pretty slow connection. Or maybe somehow my audio is not being delayed along with the video. But if it's at all tolerable, people,
Oh,
please.
okay. Uh,
Uh, yes.
3.5 seconds is what I'm told.
Good
That's
Lord.
yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't have any solutions for you. Um, because if I disconnect from this stream, the way YouTube works is that's it. Like this link, this feed is done. So I guess then we'd have to like re-coordinate everyone that's involved to go to a new connection somewhere, to a link I provide. But I'd kind of rather not do that. Um, I'm all I can say is I'm not seeing. Here's a suggestion. Somebody reload the page and maybe tell me if things have changed for you, because maybe it's one of those things where the stream started in an awkward way and it's just like stuck that way, but if you refresh it's actually happening okay, because I know that from me it's coming out pretty with a pretty small delay. Like I'm looking at my live sort of like from my software feed. I didn't want to get so inside baseball so early. Um uh yes.
That's adorable that you thought things were gonna go right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm hopeful every time, but okay, here's what I'm gonna do for myself. I'm gonna unmute my audio and I'm gonna mute my microphone or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll get real awkward for everybody else listening. So sort of like from my software feed. I didn't.
We
I
lost
didn't.
him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. It is a really long delay, isn't it? I don't know what to do. What do I do, Sammy? You're the voice of
Wait.
reason.
Okay.
You're my conscience. You're the voice in my head.
Could always
What's
hide
the
your face.
what's the right thing to do? I know. I mean, listen, it's not going to matter so much when I start like doing what I'm here for, actually working on the video. I'm going to be a tiny screen, picture in picture. So maybe it doesn't matter what the hell my lips are doing. Just think of it as some kind of cool foreign dubbed movie. What's important is what I'm saying. What's important is what's in here. So
We're
I really
entering podcast mode, everyone.
Yeah, podcast mode. You know what? Like, I encourage you not to watch the screen, I guess. Because honestly, I would do anything to conveniently fix this issue. But again, this feed has to die and a new feed has to start if we're gonna like restart transmitting things. So I'm sorry. But again, I'm sorry, I haven't watched the chat, but has anyone attempted to uh reload the thing? And yeah, well, I guess it's if it's doing
Yeah, no, they all
yeah,
have.
yeah. If it's doing it for me, it's doing it for everyone. And you know what? Here's yeah, no, there is no solution. I'm sorry, guys. So this is just a reason to not lollygag around too much and just get to the point. All right. Let's talk about the video. Let's talk about why we're here, and you're having to watch me with a huge delay instead of enjoy a nice, fully produced, beautiful episode of Captain Disillusion. So yes, we co-wrote a really nice, cool video. That's like it would have been a nice, epic conclusion to 2019, and that's how I began to produce it, and we shot it and everything over here, and I started editing it, but it turned out to be this monster nightmare of visual effects. And it's not because it has a ton of crazy visual effects in there that are like out of this world Marvel movie style. It's just that the nature of the effects, the order in which they have to be done, and just like a lot of little things about the video are just like a perfect storm of terribleness, of inefficiency. Let me be more specific. So, if this video, if you weren't in the last stream, or we didn't really discuss it to that extent, we didn't really come up with the idea in the last stream, I don't remember. The video is kind of like the undebunkable episode where you, where the setting, the room changes gradually throughout the video. So that means digitally augmenting the walls and things with CG and adding things on them until eventually the set becomes like a virtual set. And so in order to help with that, in my featureless blank walled room, I put a bunch of tracking points in like a very precisely measured grid on the wall the whole time on the set. Let me try to share some with you so you don't have to stare at me with a huge delay. But like here's
the thing.
What's that?
Show us the thing.
Yeah, there's nothing to look at. I mean, here's my After Effects project where I am like doing the work on it. But here's the opening shot, for example, right? And this is like the thing we usually see. The logo is not there. Well, I guess the logo is over here. Behind the magic. Spoilers. Here it is with the logo entering. This is how slow my computer is. I guess we shouldn't be in full resolution. And this is what it looks like, right? But that's not what it really looked like. Because inside, underneath all the crazy layers, there's actually a wall like this, full of crazy tracking markers. And they're not like single dots. They're like sizable tracking markers that only get larger when you're there. And as you can see, my hair and stuff sometimes goes in front of it, like that. And my clothes and everything, and the shadow sometimes hits tracking points, sometimes doesn't. And I'm having to erase them magically, even when the camera is moving, even when my face is going in front of it and my little hair strands. And I'm having to do that in every single shot. Now you might ask a reasonable question, Sammy. I hear you thinking it already. Why would you not film the parts that don't need the CG without the markers? Because then you don't have to do them. Because like in this opening shot, I having to use the tracking markers to solve a 3D camera move. Like here, there's actually a virtual camera in After Effects and in other software. Why can't I see? What's happening? Why can't I see? Can I not see this? Yeah, there's like a camera and the tracking markers. And, okay, it's not working right now, but I don't know why. Oh, the camera's off, whatever. Anyway, why did I do that? Why am I putting markers? Well, because someone wrote a little something in the script that has prevented us from shooting things out of sequence, which is that the captain's hair becomes progressively gray, and that is achieved with makeup. And unfortunately, that means, and you can't ungray your hair on the set. So you have to like keep it graying. So things have to be shot in order, because that's what happens in the video. At least it wasn't happening the opposite way. And so whether it's a shot later, or I mean, like I have to start from the start and go all the way to the end when the set becomes a virtual set. But I can't put on the markers easily because it took like half a day to like measure all of them precisely, because it matters that they're arranged in a certain way. That way it's easier to do the 3D stuff and whatever. Where was I? So yes, because of this, I had to just keep the tracking markers there, and then at a certain point, the set becomes so augmented that it makes more sense to just kind of be on green screen. But again, because things have to be in order, and by the way, we had to shoot the different angles, like, I couldn't just cover everything from a particular angle throughout the show, because we have to do the other angles with that level of gray. And by the way, I'm kidding. I'm not blaming Sammy for this, because it was a nice idea, and I think it's gonna look cool. And I had a chance to not do it for logistics reason. In fact, you can testify, Sammy, that I was kind of agonizing over whether to do it or not. But then I was like, well, I stupidly always decide, let's do the thing that's hard. And so I did. And anyway, so it had to be done like a play, and we kept moving the camera around all to the same locations every time. And then the set had the dots, because sometimes you have the dots, sometimes you go in green screen. And the green screen, by the way, another thing that's happening, because the set is changing, the lighting on me had to change to look cool. You know, the set is like becoming dark, like everything is made out of LED panels that are going out. So I had all the lights in the set up like on like a DMX controlled sort of thing, so that, for example, where is it? I don't know what part might have that right now. This is not in the right resolution yet. But yeah, like for example, I think actually our friend Joey VFX, who is in the chat right now, is working on this shot right now. See, things are happening even when I'm wasting my time, you know, lollygagging around, talking to you guys. Things are being done. Joey and another person are actually working on 2 different VFX shots. So things like this were happening, right? So that means, for example, I couldn't use well, I mean, I guess I could use the green screen in this case, but you know, sometimes it's like this little insert reaction was easier to just shoot really fast and then rotoscope, for example. So Joey's doing that right now. And on other shots, I did use the green screen, but I had to like fly in a little green screen because again, we can't go shoot everything on the normal set and then set up the big green screen and shoot all the green screen stuff. I had to swap back and forth for the most part. So there's things like where does it become green screen? Like for example here, well, this is a different day, but this is like things like this. I flew in a little green screen and it's right next to me and there's a bit of a shadow, but I tried to light it as much as I could. So I don't know, some of this might be problematic to key later, but then eventually I did do a separate day on a proper green screen. But even this with lighting changes was challenging to like light this green screen separately. Look, it's complicated. Okay, so it looked reasonable in my head, but now basically what we have on our hands is like an actual visual effects company's worth of like a production schedule. Here I'm trying to use this new platform to like keep track of all the shots. So I have there's 170 visual effects shots in this thing, and they all have these different
120, 110, something on the page.
Sorry. No, I just looked. My eyes glanced at a number that doesn't make sense. It says 118. I just looked at. I saw a thing that said 170, but it means shot 17 of scene 11. There's 118 shots. Essentially, all of them have something going on. Like even if it's something innocuous, like tracking markers, but there's even, you know, in the opening shot that doesn't have any effects, it does have the effect of me like holding the player eventually, or no, sorry, it doesn't, but pretty soon I pick up a player, and this should be done actually. I don't know why. I guess I'm thinking of a different shot. Different shots are done randomly, like in random order, because I'm trying to attack them in order of complexity, basically. So certain things like, you know, the counter starts to appear on the wall. This, and like many players are done, but they don't have the actual shot that's going to be in there. Sorry, this is so very slow. I mean, these shots are dense and they are in 4K. Why is it being so weird? Oh, sorry. I'm not looking at the right thing. So like, I usually put some kind of placeholder into the thing to replace the green, and then eventually when it's going to connect to the segment, you know, I'm throwing this at the camera. Come on.
Oh, I'm so excited though. This looks so good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fine. Like sometimes I'm working on a video and it feels like, is this even gonna work? It's weird, it's cheesy, my acting's not good. I think this video is really good, and it's definitely nothing to complain about in terms of like the amount of stuff, because obviously I'm just tackling videos left and right. But it's just like, it's become this never-ending story of like completing this mountain of tasks. But I'm doing my best, and hopefully, because I have a tendency to work like, so Joey VFX and the other person are helping, but like, you know, I have to compensate them for their time in a fair industry standard way. So I don't have an unlimited resource to like outsource every shot. Their time is limited in a way too. And I, you know, like there are things that it's a little easier in the context of this video for me to do, even if like they could do it, because like, oh, I started this little part of the process, so I might as well like complete the shot. But I'm trying to divvy up the work as much as I can and continue to work hard at it myself. But so I lost my train of thought mid-sentence. What I'm saying is I usually do things from difficult to easy. So it's going to like speed up more and more. And hopefully it'll just start like, it'll pick up the momentum with which I'm more comfortable. Right now I kind of feel like I'm suffering through everything because every day moves like a turtle, you know. But it's getting a little bit easier to get through this. So eventually I'm going to get all these scenes done. But today, I thought, here, let's get into proper word. The delay is still happening, right?
Probably. But
let's not think about it.
Are you working on today?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Sammy. I thought that since I'm like in front of people and you know, you do want me to be able to talk a little bit, I'm gonna work on this. Where is it? This one. I made it purple. There's, you know, eventually in the story I kind of would go into my brain and I'm just kind of floating around in my own head, and I'm trying to rapid fire debunk a bunch of videos from last year. So it's just a series of shots of me on green screen, no different from when I'm doing Quick D, except I have this like, you know, undulating lighting on me, and I'm gonna flip myself around and kind of make myself float in weird ways. So it's just nothing but a bunch of shots, which shouldn't be too big a challenge because they're more or less green screenable without any special effort, except this opening shot where I'm like flying full body. I'll do that last, but I think if I just take one of these and do a nice proper key, chroma key on it, we can copy and paste all the rest of the keys. I think the green screen is not getting messed up because I took a lot of care, like, you know, making sure that the green screen is not like changing in lighting. So hopefully, if it's changing, it's a little bit, and there's a little bit of a tiny shadow. I think we can knock that out. So I'm just gonna sit here and try to do a basic key, chroma key, and cut out garbage and stuff.
Every still from this is just like amazing.
Amazing, just me making weird faces all the time. Yeah, that's all my life is really, isn't it? Making funny faces, trying to communicate something slightly intelligent. All right. Oh, you wanna see a little treat? I guess I do have one of the pieces of the Alan meeting. So, by the way, spoilers to I mean, sort of spoilers. It's not like this is the next, you know, Avengers movie or whatever. Is there more? There's no more Avengers, right? I don't know. There's nothing to spoil. But here's a shot. Oh wait, There will always be more Avengers movies. Of course. What's the scene oh yeah, it's the long scene here. Okay, so it's so weird to see like dimly lit things on green screen. It looks like something's wrong, right? Like it's weird. But when the set that is kind of like dark is is incorporated, it suddenly starts to make sense. But yeah, so yeah, here's one of my appearances. You got your wish, Sammy, and your shirt is in the friggin' video. It's like I've never made a joke or a reference. So here's a shot which has some CG, but it's not rendered like properly. It's just like a very low res proxy for it because it takes like a long time to get that rendered, and I just wanted to check if it makes sense. So this is like Alan entering when the captain calls him. So
I love it.
Yeah, and then I already had this shot. I think I already sent it. It's actually, for some reason, making these LED, like this thing, I don't know. I'm not that good at Blender, even though I'm the world's greatest Blenderer, but I've set it up in a way that it takes a million years to render properly, just some of the lighting things that I'm doing. So I outsourced it to like one of those render farms, and I think I already rendered this shot, but I just hadn't had a moment to put in the full res thing and like fix up all the things. By the way, the boxes are CG in this shot, but in this shot they are real because I didn't have them, on the green screen. So this is real boxes. This is perfect 3D replicas of them. Anywho, all right, let's not get distracted. Let's just focus on the task at hand. I think it's scene, what is it? Scene 10. Yes, scene 10. Let us start pulling some keys. it's your turn to talk now, so that I move my mouth less and we annoy the audience less. Sammy,
God.
how's your new year going?
Good and bad and everything at the same time, basically.
Oh, yeah. Anything like, have you implemented any new resolutions, you know, like starting right away, like doing some new thing every day or whatever?
You know, I thought about it and I couldn't find anything like good or decent to make a resolution. Last year, my resolution was just like create more stuff.
That's a good one. And you did make various things, at least from what I saw, right?
Yeah, I mean, are they good? I don't know.
Well, you know, you just said more stuff. They didn't have to be good. No, it's good. It's always a good goal. I mean, I guess that's not my goal. Well, my goal is for this year is more like make stuff on time, right? But I don't think I don't make enough, maybe.
You already messed that one up.
Yeah, I already messed that one up royally, right from the beginning. But yeah, I'd like to. Well, this video is a perfect example of what my resolution should be. I'd like to make at least the same amount of stuff, but be much more, like, efficient with it. Like, for example, not stop to gesture while I'm doing a simple task. Yeah, like, I don't know, I spent, especially at the end of the past year, I spent, like, a long time putting in a lot of effort on things that I like the result, but, like, they don't have a big impact, you know, like videos and topics and collaborations and things where it's like, hey, I'm really glad I did that, but in the grand scheme of things, it didn't feel to anyone that follows my work like I did a lot of stuff, you know, and I don't like that. So, I'd like to change that at least this time, this year, just kind of like, hey, if I don't think this is gonna have a huge impact, I'm gonna skip this idea, or I'm gonna skip this collab, or I'm gonna skip, you know, a particular like effect or stunt or some weird idea I want to do. Like, it's gotta measure up to maximum impact. Did those words make sense? What did I just say? So maybe I could talk easier about what I'm actually doing in real time instead of other things. I'm trying to do this thing in Keylight where I'm just gonna knock out the like do a very rough key so that there's no holes inside of the perimeter of my silhouette, and then kind of like shrink it a little bit because it's just it's like a reverse sort of garbage mat.
Hello, everyone coming in from the Discord. We know the audio is desynced, like that.
Yes.
Just deal with it.
Yes, thank you for letting us know. We are aware. And that is why I'm so small. And maybe I should wear like a face mask, and that way people won't even know because I'm just doing the same gestures all the time.
I wanted to say put a paper bag over your head.
No, that's probably preferable.
Please don't do that.
What if it had like a really cool sketch of me? You should sketch a caricature of me on a paper bag, send it to me, and I will wear it on the stream. Then the next time we encounter this sync problem.
Or we can just put a doodle over
yeah,
your
or
face.
yeah, I just like superimpose.
Hold on, let me do that.
Okay.
I'm on a mission.
I guess I could figure out how to. If I try to figure out how to superimpose it on the fly, I'll probably break the entire Wirecast setup, and then we have to end the stream for real. Alright, yes, so this knocks out the thing, and this softens it a little bit. But this is not the real chroma key. Boy, my After Effects doesn't really work as fast when I'm trying to full live stream in HD. So we'll set this to intermediate result and forget about it.
You need to get the new iMac Pro, because I know you're working on the old one.
Yeah, the Mac Pro, yeah. I guess, yeah. One of these days. I'll wait till, usually like, there's a bunch of problems with the new hardware. So I'll wait. And also, this one's serving me just fine right now. cool shortcut in After Effects. If you applied some effect and you want to apply that effect again for some reason, like I do right now, I want a second round of key light. Alt Command Shift E, and it just pops right on. Well, probably for you it's going to pop on like 5 seconds later, but or maybe you'll see it first and then you'll hear me. And now we're gonna key light a second time. I think I talked about this in some video, right? You just do multiple keys and then it sort of looks cool. Combine matte. So this time I can kind of be more gentle with the keyer. Still knock out all the background, but leave all those little hairs and things so there's a lot of detail. And it helps to watch the scopes, because like it looks like, okay, the whole thing is black, but really there's a bunch of garbage here that you can kind of not tell with the naked eye. So let's do that. Yeah, I always forget that there's going to be this serious taxing on the processor of the computer. I'm not going to quite be able to work as snappily as I usually do. Not that I'm fast, as is self-evident. So yeah, now we have all these little holes, but the thing we did earlier is going to save us, because we can go inside mask, add to inside mask. Look at that! It's practically perfect in every way.
Ooh,
Almost.
yeah, actually that looks good.
And now, but we're not even going to use, this is going to stay like this. We'll use this as a sort of luminance matte. And instead, I think this is straight out of like a Video Copilot tutorial or something, but we're going to create our own decontaminated, degreened version of this so that we can use that matte on this, and that way it's going to look all super clean. So another key light, I guess we could do that trick again. And again, pick the color, and this time crank up the screen gain a little bit. Then add an effect called Channel Combiner and set it to straight to pre-multiplied. Check off solid alpha, and then we have this kind of thing. But then we can take another layer where it's the normal shot, put this on top, and use the color transfer mode to make it like a version of the shot that is exactly the same, but it doesn't have the green. But it's so sensitive, it's better than desaturating green colors or something. Because you see like the little bit of sort of green in my eyes is still kind of there, a little bit. I mean, it's been like altered, but it's sort of fine, whatever. But the green screen is gone, so that way we can use this to key this to make it perfect. But it's made out of these two layers, so I'm gonna pre-comp them.
The real trick here is to use a yellow screen and sodium lights and steal the only camera that Disney owns that does yellow screen.
Yeah, that's easy, isn't it? But then, I guess don't you have to not have still like yellow shades? And how did that work again?
So it was actually like really
beam splitter
yellow
thing, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember. I saw that cool what is it? Filmmaker HQ, Filmmaker IQ, whatever video.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. That was really ingenious. Like they had some special prism, right, in the camera that's like they only made 2 of those in the whole universe, and like it sees that particular frequency of sodium vapor lights or something, right? Is that how that worked? I don't really recall.
So yeah. What I want to know is where those cameras are at.
Probably in the Disney Vault, like everything else, right? Well, I guess the Disney Vault is like a library vault that has all the cells and stuff and reels. But don't know. Maybe it's in some museum. Worth researching. So yeah, I'm gonna call this thing I'll call this kind of shot decast, like the number of the shot decast. In this case, the whole matte is just a normal shot, so I'm going to use it as a Luma matte. And look at that. I think this might be okay. If I need to tweak it, another thing that's nice to use using a separate matte, when you want to, like, it's nice that it works with motion blur here, but maybe when we have the final background, we'll find that that's a little too, like, it needs to be shrunk a little bit. Instead of like like a matte choker or whatever, just use a curves, because it's like a black and white image of the matte, so we can just kind of like shrink it a little bit, or do the opposite if we need to. So I'm gonna add that in there, I guess. And we can always check on our alpha channel and make sure, like, there's a tiny little hole there, but it's actually fine. Like, no, it's like the silver, and it's a little bit of the color of the background shines through. I think it'll be okay. So I'm gonna call this my this is the effect that I'm gonna apply to all of the things, but it's a series of effects. So this is for the matte.
Done. Perfect. You can export the video and upload it to YouTube. That's
all done. So easy. How does this work again? Save animation preset. I don't know where all my presets get saved. What is this? Okay, at least we're in Adobe 2020. There's some weird thing. Every time you install a new version of After Effects, it never updates the location of your presets and plugins. Like, you have to like manually fix it. But anyway, I don't know what. Oh, in fact, mine. That's what it is. My thing has been in like some old version of After Effects since I don't know when. Presets. Where are you? Oh, After Effects. Don't let me down now. Is it in even older? Is it here? No.
Your files are way more organized than
Well,
mine
this
are.
is just like the applications folder, so it organizes itself, but oh, you know what? Maybe it's in 2018. That feels right. No, it's not. I don't even... That's Adobe Animate. What am I doing? I think it's in... I feel like it's in here. Where are you? User preset... Oh, wait. Sorry. It's like in Documents or something. You know what? Why am I even doing this? Let's just save it in our visual effects folder or whatever. Scene 10, key, matte, right? Scene 10 matte. Oh, but then it's not...
So many random documents just named Yeet.
Yeah, you do say that a lot. Oh, wait, maybe we can, because that's not going to show up in our friggin' folder, is it? Yeah. Saving Adobe Documents, After Effects 2020. Okay, fine. I will save it in the friggin' folder then.
Save it to the desktop.
No, but After Effects can only put it into that presets thing through here. Whatever the hell rotation. Just put it in presets, man. Here, we'll make a special... We can't even make a folder in here. Okay, presets. Just do it. Just show it here. Scene 10. Key. Or matte. I'll call it matte. Matte. Nope. No, but where do my presets live now? You know what? We're not even going to do the presets. We're just going to copy and paste them. Old school. User presets. CD. Where do you live? Show me yourself. Reveal yourself to me.
In case you were wondering why the episode was taking so long.
Yeah. No, but this is not fair. I don't have these problems when I'm not like doing it in front of people on the air with a half as long computer. I mean, half as slow computer. Here, I'll do this. I'll simply copy it, and then we can move on with our lives. We can go in here. I can... Oh, this guy is made of a couple... There's a little speed ramp in here. By the way, let's check if this has our speed ramp fixed correctly. I think we have to move this little keyframe. A little weird thing happens with when I change the speed of things. In Avid, there's a little like off by one error, and I sometimes have to move a keyframe to make sure the frames connect perfectly. Like I try to reduce a pause in my speech here. Anywho,
Somebody just made a meme about me.
What did I say? Yeet? Did it involve yeet?
I mean, there's lots of yeets already.
Alright, I see. Okay. Is this comp? Yeah, this is in 4K. Okay.
Do you want this profile pic of yours to go over your face? Do you want it to be like high quality?
Yeah, but honestly, I'm not gonna try to like figure out how to place it over my face right now. But it's good to know it's good to have for this situation in the future, which I hope doesn't happen. But like, throw it to my Dropbox or something.
Oh, that means I actually have to try. Okay.
Oh, no, I mean, you know, it doesn't... You don't try because we're hoping that it's never gonna happen again. Right, so... Alright. Now we're gonna duplicate, apply... Hey, look at that, it works! It works like magic! I didn't have to do that all over again. But I do have to cut out this garbage, so... I'll make a black solid, and I'll just quickly, like, mask this stuff out, I guess. What kind of color is this for a mask? I can't see that. Subtract. That's nice and clean. 10. 3, matte. Let's go to our friend. The first shot.
Chat, I want you to know that we are not yeeting our Macs out the window.
What?
That's not happening.
What is that? What is the general vibe in the chat right now? I'm scared to look. Are people really annoyed by the delay?
Well, I think, yeah, they're annoyed, but like they got over themselves, or they should be getting over themselves.
Tell
or,
them,
you know.
Yeah. This is just me throwing my voice in a really skillful way. I'm practicing my... ooh, have I been a little bit out of focus because I feel like I'm not in the zone that I focused the camera on? Yes, I use manual focus on my live stream camera to make sure things look nice and clean while audio is out of sync by seconds. So what? Okay, I've done 2 shots, Sammy. I'm not slow at all. I've got 1, 2...
I wasn't asking. You okay?
I feel you judging me. Alright. Now we're picking up steam. This is shot 4, 10. Hey, Joey, are you still in the chat? How's your thing going? He said he would be working on the shot that I sent him while the stream is happening too. Things are happening all at once, guys. Shot 4, decast. I mean, yeah, maybe this would be a couple of seconds faster per
Joey
frame.
says it's going good.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Teamwork. Anybody got any? Yeah, sorry, you. Yes, I was gonna say, does anybody have any questions? You have a question. You started asking it. I interrupted you. Go for it.
I was gonna say, so how is working like with a team?
Well, I mean, it's early days. All I did was like ask Joey, hey, you want to do the thing? And then I worked with my other friend. Well, it's like I just hired some. I worked with a few people off of like over the years, like once in a while. In this kind of situation where I was like, ooh, gosh, I will be late by half a day. I better hire a human to do like a complicated roto thing. And I would just use like a freelance, you know, one of those freelance like platforms where you could just post a job. So I've worked a few times like that. So I have some little bit of experience in that sense, but it's, you know, it feels like it's not like the thing you outsource to the other person is like completely off your plate, because you're still, it involves you explaining what you want them to do, giving them the material, which in this case Joey can tell you, like we were doing a thing where I would send him the entire camera take of like a thing that is being used in the shot that he has to do an effect on, and it's like a huge like multi gigabyte file because I'm doing like 5 takes while the camera rolls the whole time. So today I sent him a shorter shot. So, but it takes some management of that material, and you gotta like make sure that they got what you were trying to say. So I have to like check like, is the thing being done right, and then receive it, and then maybe I have notes, maybe I don't. Then I gotta take the thing, I gotta put it into the rest of my work. So, wait a minute, this doesn't look right. Oh yeah, it's just the lighting. So, in other words, it helps a little bit, but it's still like, it just makes me think, okay, now I gotta think in the future and have like an intermediate person that is like managing the people that are helping with the other things. And it starts making me want to just create a big empire of
good old Disillusion
Industries. Exactly. What effect are we having here? Is this the mat? Yes. Okay. This music is well, you can't hear the music, Sammy, but now we've got some little bit of like video gamey sort of pop techno music playing in the background. It's making me want to speed up. I'm speeding up.
Drink some caffeine.
Oh no, but now it's slowed down. Now it's got like this lyrical part. The beat kind of like dropped out, and now I'm slow again. I guess there's caffeine in tea. That counts.
Depends on the kind of tea.
I think it's just Earl Grey, so it should be plenty caffeinated.
We're getting a couple of questions, but one of them is, do you ever think about how you'd act if a bear was chasing you?
Well, I'm kind of always acting like a bear is chasing me, in that I'm kind of unsure and stammering and ready to protect myself at any moment, I guess. So, not too differently, but maybe I would move faster than I normally do. I almost got the lead in The Revenant, and then we would have known. No, that's not true. I could never step into Leonardo DiCaprio's shoes. They wouldn't fit, for one thing.
Does he have like big shoes, or?
No, I mean, they wouldn't fit because they'd be too small. Isn't he like kind of short? I don't know. Just trying to come up with a joke on the fly. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio is short.
Now I'm curious.
Is that a real thing?
I'm gonna Google it.
I think he's short. Maybe I saw his like a wax figure in a wax museum, and that's why I'm so sure. I don't know. He just looks like a small dude, doesn't he?
Okay, but how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet even.
Last time I checked. He's also apparently 6 feet even.
Oh, well, look at that. It's challenge your preconceptions, or they'll challenge you. Oh yeah, you know how in your video essay about Captain Disillusion, you were like,
God.
oh, the little, he even made a little pocket for his thing. Well, I'll have you know that all I've ever done is just tape the mic in like that little triangle of tape that people say you can do, and it's never worked for me very well. But this one, now I have I got a fancy new lav, and it came with like, I've really gotten annoyed because that shirt is it's like this spandexy weird shirt that makes a lot of noise with a little bit of movement, and I got like a nice little pod that is specifically designed for that mic, and it seems to work much better. It's not like it's never ever noisy at all, but yeah, it's just stuck onto me and the shirt. I don't know how to sew A special pocket, although that's probably a good idea. They probably do that on wardrobe in feature films or something. You probably know more.
I feel like you were going to sass me about that eventually.
Well, I just thought it was funny. It made me think of that when I saw that there. Someday I'll think of a way to... Well, for one thing, maybe I shouldn't be wearing skin-tight shirts, or I should design something where it's not going to be so obvious there's a microphone there all the time. But this is what it ends up looking like.
Part of the aesthetic.
Yeah, I guess so. It's more like a weird tradition for no reason that just remains. Like the cracks on the walls, like the beginning and saying greetings children and everything else. Like, why? Just because that's how you did it the first time and you just do it, and then you create the next Star Wars because you just have a convention. It's always scrolling text, and it's always, when it's over, the thing you pan up the stars or down, and like the music is always the same until the audience has to love it. They have to feel like it's part of their psyche and their childhood. That's how it works, Sammy.
I know that's how it works.
Minds.
I have not watched some of your earliest episodes, but I recall seeing a thumbnail in which the captain was wearing jeans, and it threw me off a bit.
Oh yeah. I think that's probably me dancing like Michael Jackson or something. What was I doing? Yeah, there was something about one of the Amazing Meeting episodes in Las Vegas. I think that's the only time I wore jeans. 10, 2, 6. Check that little thing. On the scale of boring, this is a question to the chat. On the scale of the most boring thing that you could see when someone's working on visual effects, and me being inside of a literal movie as a viewer, where does this activity sit? Like, how boring is this? I feel like this is the maximum I could do and still be able to coherently say words. And this is why I picked doing a simple green screen for the duration of this thing. Well, I'll probably be done pretty soon. Well, it's going to take me forever to rotoscope my butt here in this opening shot, so we're going to have plenty of time. And you know what? I don't want to hear anybody going like, why didn't you just put green? Why isn't the box green? Wait, where are we? Yeah, why isn't the box green screen? That's not going to help, alright? Look at all the shadow and all this stuff. You'd still have to basically do it by hand, so you might as well not have a crazy strong... If the box was green or I pulled the green screen over it, the amount of reflection of green on me would be like catastrophic, and it would just be knocking it out when I'm trying to key it. So you might as well not do it. And my butt is not really moving too much, so I don't think that's going to be too hard, but my feet and my hand going out of the screen is probably going to take more of the work. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. Where are we here? This is combined, duplicate. This is not it.
Oh god, I think... Oh. So, okay. It's entertaining.
Yes.
I feel like. We got one yeet out of 10.
Oh. 1 out of 10. Rough.
I've made a mistake, I'm sorry.
What?
It's just a versatile word.
Oh. Well, listen. There's film history, I guess. There's a... When I was growing up, the Soviet cinema is both interesting and, has historic quality things, but also a bunch of crappy B-movie looking stuff. And, one of these movies that's, kind of iconic in Russian history, modern sort of cinema history, but is also, if you watched it, it'd just be like, what the hell is this nonsense? It's a weird sci-fi comedy called Kinzadza. I don't know if there's a different... It's a nonsensical word, that is just like that's what the title of the movie is, and I think it's just translated as that in English. But it's like a weird, like, low budget sci-fi comedy about like a guy gets abducted and ends up on another planet, just like straight out of just the street in Moscow, and he just goes on this whole journey, and everything is very lo-fi, very like Mad Maxy. And the reason I'm mentioning it is that like one of the things in the movie is that he meets this character whose language is just like the sound ku, and everything is ku, and everything means ku, and he's like teaching the guy like the language. Is like, see that you see that's ku, yellow pants. Like he's just like he's teaching him these words, but it's just the same word all the time. Kind of a funny idea. Like, why am I talking about this? Because you say yeet. Yeah, your ku is your yeet, or yeet is your ku, where you just say yeet about everything, and it means different things. What's happening right now? Oh, I forgot to do this. That looks better. So far, so good. How long have I been working? I have no sense of time when we're...
What is our Skype call at?
Oh, yeah, good point.
We're already an hour and 14 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, see, I'm telling you, I mean, I guess most people understand this if they even do any kind of YouTube videos or anything, or like short films. If you the process of editing or the process of doing any kind of like media management, but especially visual effects, like the more involved it is in pixel by pixel things, time just time travels. Like I sit down and I do like a shot, I do 1/4 of one task on a shot, and it's time to have lunch, or just decide to work through lunch, and like the day is gone. It's kind of insane. Like I kind of hate visual effects. There, I said it. I just don't like oh god, look at all these speed ramps. Me trying to compensate
everyone's
from
asking why Skype.
Because I'm 40. I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's the only one I find like. Why is Skype? I guess like it's reliable. It's annoying as an app, but I just like that it's like, and also I don't have like, I have like 5 contacts on Skype, so I know like if we tried to do Discord or something, I guess there'd be people there, you guys would be there, and I would be scared of you.
You can do like private voice calls on Discord.
Yeah, I get it, but I'd have to open Discord, and then I would see all the scary children, all of the Lords of the Flies, and it would make me scared. But maybe we do it that way next time. But we should, I mean, maybe you'll be on screen again next time. Maybe you will find your way out of the computer world, Sammy, and we'll be able to see you.
I was born on the internet. I will die on the internet.
The internet has video, streaming video. I'm proof of that. Look at me. I'm only lagging 3 seconds behind with my audio.
Guys, Alan isn't a boomer. He's Gen X. There's a difference. He hates authority.
Forget it. But everyone's a boomer, unless if you're older than 12 years old, you're a boomer.
That makes me a boomer.
Yeah, we're boomers together. What do you? Sorry to break it to you.
I don't want to get old.
Welcome to my world. That's kind of what this episode is about, isn't it? It's about coming to terms with
the Captain D midlife crisis video.
Yeah, basically. By the way, the gray-haired thing, I mean, you saw some glimpses of it, but like, it's kind of, it works against itself because it's difficult to get, you know, unless you like straight up bleach your hair, it's hard to get it like glowing white. And the fact is, like, the grayer I got, in tandem with that, the darker the set got. So it's kind of it ended up stupid. Like, I'm not a good production designer, and I don't think of things like that. I mean, my props look stupid, my sets look rinky-dink. Like, that's a thing I don't have access to or don't, like, you know, I just don't have experience with it. So everything, that side of things is very, I mean, when I do it, it's not the best, but then I also don't think strategically about things like that. Like maybe if I realize that I'm basically going to be in pitch black by the time my hair is really gray, it doesn't artistically read, but whatever. Maybe I'll brighten it up a little bit as a last step. If I'm still alive, and if you're all still subscribers at that by the time this video is done, I can do something about emphasizing the grayness, so that, because definitely like the beginning of it, there's a shot when I first like turn around and I have a little bit of gray. It's kind of like, and I had to pick a take where the camera doesn't get to me that early, and so you basically miss it. And I don't know how it's gonna read in the final edit, to be frank. We'll see. Sometimes I think something just doesn't work at all the entire time I'm doing post-production, and then when I watch the final video, it's like, oh yeah, it's all good, it comes across, but sometimes things just don't work out. We'll see. What is this? Have very technical terms for everything. If I use the speed ramp, I combine a thing and call it combined. If I'm removing a color cast of the green screen, I call it a decast comp, and so on.
I do have to say, though, I really enjoy the campiness of it all.
Well, yeah, like, I suppose that's, you know, it's done consciously. Like, when you can't do something to a proper degree, you have to play in the world that's within your reach. Like, I have to lean into the campiness a little bit, because, like, and there's nothing sadder when, like, a film or something or a short thing is like aiming higher than it is clearly capable of achieving, is there? Like, you gotta know your limits and like build what you're making in like something that looks healthy in that construct. Like, hey, or like when someone does something really well, I kind of mentioned this in my TEDx thing. Like, it's better to make something where all the elements in the thing you're making are like evenly matched, where as opposed to like having beautiful visual effects or like cinematography even, and then like your actors, your sound, and everything is awful. Like I'd rather things were a little bit low end on all fronts. Like, I kind of, you know, it's more tolerable to watch a movie like that. Do you agree?
I do agree. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but somebody wants you to wave to their children.
Hello, children of a person whose name I do not know. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry the sound is out of sync. And enjoy the videos. I don't know if you're enjoying this. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
We have a joke about COPPA compliance.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, the video opens with like a little COPPA compliance thing, you know. I feel like when we wrote that in, that was like on the mind of everyone, but it's already old news. Like, everyone's like, okay, whatever, COPPA compliant thing. What do you think about the whole COPPA compliant YouTube? Like, it's not like anything's changed, right? YouTube just, what happened? Like, they got sued, or it's part of some kind of thing where they're just like covering themselves and they decided we're just gonna shift this burden onto the user, or
I'm pretty sure they got sued and they're like, we will shift it.
But like, I mean, whatever. Yeah, you know. What, I don't know. I don't know anything about the ins and outs of the rules. Like, I'm sure, I guess it was something they couldn't just add into the terms of service or something where you just like re-click agree and everything is fine again. I guess this is something that has to be consciously done every time. They have to indemnify themselves. against every piece of individual content not being aimed at young audiences. You know what? I don't know about this key. No, it's actually going to be fine. I think there's going to be... I think this is how much I have to knock out my hair, because there's going to be a lot of really rapid movement. And also each of my shots will be like flipped and floating in a weird way. Alright, we're 7. Just one more before I have to butt rotoscope. Wasn't there another... Did I already fix this? I guess I'll
The hair
take...
is...
Yeah?
The hair is so floofy.
Bloopy?
Floofy.
Floofy. Mine is. Yeah. Sometimes. I think after I do this shot, before getting to that wide shot, we take a little... Do you think I should take a Q&A break? Is there things to say? Do people want to know things? Or are they just hanging out?
If you ask for questions, they will
People-
100% give you questions.
Everyone, you have, knowing me, like 5 whole minutes while I do this one task to ask any question. I will personally sit and read and say the answers to the questions. So ask me questions in the chat right now. Now is the time. You can or feel free to include or not include that question emoji, because I mean it makes it easier for me to see, but also I'll try to read through everything. Alright, what are we doing? Okay, this is combined. Okay. And 10. Shot 10. I mean, scene 10, shot 8. Combine. Duplicate. Nope. Paste. Color. I'm racing you. If you're not asking your question right now, it's going to be too late. I'm going to be done in just 1 minute. Ask very smart questions. Ask questions that challenge me, that challenge my perception of reality. That bring me to the very edge of sanity.
Aren't you like already there though?
Where? Yeah, I am, definitely. Listen, you don't end up putting weird makeup on and making videos criticizing things and people you like for no reason without being a little insane. I hope I don't exceed this little rectangle. Oh yeah, no such luck. I hope that Taryn from Linus Tech Tips is not watching today, because he's probably laughing at my spectacularly inefficient process of just keying a bunch of green screen shots that are the same. Like, it shouldn't take over an hour, right?
I haven't seen him in the chat anywhere.
Good, good.
So-
Nobody tell him that this is happening. The king of efficiency. Can I get away without having to roto anything? God damn it. Why? Maybe this will work. Oh yes. I might be sorry if sometimes I'm like mumbling a little bit, and then I have like a gate on the mic, so I kind of like cut out and then cut in. I don't know if that is happening, but if it is, sorry. I think that could be a little bit annoying. Not as annoying as me being so out of sync, but listen. I'm just trying to make this a tolerable experience for you. Come on, hands. Yes?
I think the biggest joke you've ever played is that somehow the VFX work you do is like not human.
I know.
You were literally pulling off inhuman work.
Yeah. It feels like it's breaking some kind of torture convention. Self-torture, at least. There ought to be a law against... Okay, is it... I don't want to sound like a downer or like patting myself on the back, on the other hand, for how diligent I am. But like, my day is typically like... I'll have morning coffee or whatever, look at my girlfriend, remember what her face looks like, say we talk to each other, and then I go to my office and I work on this, and then I either like order lunch if she's at work or we have lunch, and then I go back to doing this, then I do the same thing for dinner, then I come back here and I kind of finish around midnight. I've been finishing around midnight like during this video's thing. So like I feel like I live in this chair. But yeah, just, you know, I hope that it's worth it. I hope the final product will be worth it. We'll see. Okay. Look at that. No one ever has to know the green screen wasn't ever not filling the whole screen. What did I say? It'll take me 5 minutes to finish this last shot?
Yeah.
How wrong I was.
Oh no.
No, I'm done. Like this, I'm just saying it's already been longer than that, right? So, whatever. But here it is. It's done. So all of our shots but one, which is the opening one here. And this isn't like them done, right? And then I have to create all the background and all the elements. Like there's going to be videos flying by and I'm looking at them and I'm seeing messages from people and I'm addressing them and I'm saying things at them. And I'm going to be like floating around like all kinds of ways probably or whatever. I haven't really... And then there's a little intro. There's like a little... We see this inner mindstorm world for a half a second before we see me floating by. So when we come back from the Q&A, I will try to get going on this. But for now, let's take a little break. Again, I apologize that my lips are so far removed from the things you're hearing come out of my mouth. Somebody count, I'm going to clap, so I don't know what comes first, the sound or the hands, but like, tell me exactly the delay. Here we go, ready? I'm going to clap now on camera like a slate, and... So somebody tell me the delay and which direction it's in, or I guess, Sammy, you can do that.
I was about to say, I am going to take a like 2-minute break and yeah, refill my water bottle.
Oh yeah, go for it. So I will go ahead and look for these little question thingies. All right. I'm sorry if I don't see your question. I find it kind of difficult. Oh my gosh, the delay on my overall broadcast is so long. Never mind. I'm gonna look at questions now. Please forgive me if I missed yours. And if you really want me to answer it, tell Sammy to look for it and tell me when she comes back, or like write it again or whatever. Let's see. Is your editing, Dan asks, is your editing background something you made or is it from other source? No, in anticipation of doing these streams, I got like this service that has like, it's like a streaming thing of like a sort of Pandora, but it has an option to only have YouTube safe music, and you kind of pay like a subscription, and it's connected to your YouTube. Excuse me, I'm like, my brain is recovering from staring at the screen for a bit. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of copyright free YouTube safe music, and that's why it sounds so electronic and low end as something I would make, because, you know, probably it's not very expensive and it didn't take too much effort to produce. But yeah, I like some of those tracks. I think it fits with my aesthetic, wouldn't you say? Warren says, come with us to NAB in 2020. We'll show them how it's done. Okay, Warren, are you the person who has sent me that invitation? I will have to look at when the heck is NAB and what I'm doing at this time this year. I'm sorry it's not been working out to do that, but I am curious to go to NAB. Like, I feel I'm like the kind of guy that should see NAB stuff and play with all the new cameras and stuff. I'll get back to you if that's you. I don't know if, or you're just another person asking me. I will reply to you when I know if I can go or not. How do you do the emoji? Okay, somebody showed this man how to do the emoji. Why can't you think of a question? Listen, I couldn't think of a question if I was put on the spot like this, Rano. Someone's talking about ASMR. Is my mumbling considered ASMR? Like, does that count as ASMR for some people? If so, I'm glad. I'm glad to provide this service. Live stream with Mr. Flair, when? I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But that could be funny. I think that's more... Mr. Flair is more... especially since he's lost his body for the moment. Might be better like as a Discord chat or something. Something that's just audio-only medium. Mr. Flair should have a podcast. That wouldn't be annoying to listen to for an hour, would it?
Oh, no, not at all.
I bet somebody out there would want that. Let's see. How did you do the laminar flow water tube effect thing in the laminar flow video? Also, did you use Blender for the video? I don't know. I mean, I show you what you see is what I did. Like, I put a little frame of tape onto a balloon and I stabbed it with a knife, with a blade. And on Patreon, I don't know if you are a patron or from Discord, but on Patreon I posted... I know that the way that I ended up putting that in the video looks like something fishy's going on because I sort of transition after it's stabbed to like a shot of it, but it's only because... a shot of the laminar flow happening, but it's only because it takes a few seconds for it to like stabilize and become the laminar flow, and I just really didn't want to like spend like 7 or to 10 seconds just staring at the shot, so I decided to like dissolve through a little bit of time. But on Patreon, whenever I came out with that video, there's a behind the scenes thing where we show the thing from the moment it's stabbed to it becoming all super laminar, and it's a continuous shot that doesn't cut, and you also see that it wasn't my hand at all. I was the one filming.
That was Emily's hand.
Yeah, it was Emily's hand. Let's see, what's next? I don't know. How do you... And, well, I'm sure I used Blender, your other part of the question. I didn't... Obviously, that wasn't fake, so I didn't use Blender or anything to do that. That was real, the laminar flow. But I used Blender in that episode to do all the graphics and things, like the Ex Machina woman and everything is like a Blender animation and all those things. Let's see. That's you. Why am I reading things from you, Sammy? How do you edit your videos with so many VFX shots? Well, you're seeing it right now. I mean, maybe the question, there's more to this question. Maybe you mean like, how do you negotiate editing, just like the pacing of the editing and picking the takes and visual effects? And the answer to that is I just do it in order. Like, I try to use my experience to like know like to see like what the effect is going to be like. So if it involves some element that isn't there at all, like that has to take time, let's say like a thing explodes and the smoke clears and I walk out, right? This is going to be a shot of me walking, so I have to like just pretend like, okay, the explosion will take this much time, this many frames, and then it dissipates and then I walk. So I put my shot of me starting to walk this far, you know, and just have a empty blank piece of space in the timeline. But sometimes I'm wrong all the time. On this video, I'm thinking of moments where now it's in the effects stage, but I might have to go back and cut a few moments because they ended up shorter than or they ended up longer than what I feel I need, so I can trim something. So before I do the sound, finalizing the sound mix and everything, I'll basically do a very low tech thing of editing it in this After Effects project, looking at what I did, and then going to my real edit and manually like mimicking that, then taking that into Pro Tools, which I use for doing sound. It's a pain. Okay, I have to get to other questions. And speed ramps. I mean, speed ramps are speed ramps. In Avid, as I'm sure in other editing software, there's a way to like trim a piece of footage and then like squash and stretch it so that it becomes faster or slower without affecting other parts of the shot. It's different software can do it in different ways. Are you going to be doing any more live events like at QED? Well, last stream I talked about my trip to Latvia and how I did a TEDx talk there. This is something that has happened, and they had a live stream of it.
Still not out.
Yeah, but it's still not out. So the answer is basically yeah, because you will see a video of me doing a live talk when this TEDx talk sees the light of day. By the way, oh yeah, when all this sync problems happened, it kind of derailed me from trying to address a little thing at the beginning of this stream, which was regarding the last stream and how we had these technical problems and we sounded super awkward. Even though Sammy and I are pretty awkward people, I think in real life it made us extra awkward with the delays and all this. But another thing that it caused is that I had my little opening monologue and my recap of my Latvia trip and my TEDx talk and hanging out with people and seeing relatives culminated in this thing where I started ranting about how everybody gives you local chocolates and liquor at the end of when you visit Latvia, and they just pack your bags with it, and it's hard you don't have enough luggage space. And I just kept on and on about it, it became like rude and weird. And the reason
told me to like interrupt you with that.
Yes.
And I wasn't comfortable doing that yet. Now I am, obviously.
Yeah. Well, so I attributed it to the fact that I kind of feel like I didn't even discuss it with you, this little bit. I put it in our little outline, but then I realized, wait, I never even really like told you in person. And plus, it would have made it difficult, I guess, with the delays. But anyway, and yeah, I guess if you're saying it was just like you were trying to find an in, the point to the audience, that wasn't me being weird and rude. It was just a joke that didn't work because of various reasons. I don't know how I got on that top. Yes, I did a TED talk, and I will be doing more live talks, and that's that. Question number 2. I don't think I saw your first question. C for Vendetta. Will you start doing TikTok videos because it's currently the largest platform with the biggest audience, especially kids? Will I start? I already got a TikTok, man, or lady, or person. I already am active on TikTok because I'm cool and young and I'm with it. That's not what people say now. Yeah, I haven't done many. What I've been doing is whenever I film, like by the time I'm done filming, I'm still like, I'm still with the captain, and I do TikTok. Like only the captain does TikToks. But they're kind of stupid. Like I don't know. I don't really know how to use, or I understand how to use TikTok, but I haven't found my angle on TikTok. Like what's the best thing for me to do? So I've just been goofing around on it like a little kid. But check it out. I mean, it's just Captain Disillusion or something. @ Captain Disillusion. I didn't do it this last shoot because it was such a stressful shoot, and it was actually multiple days. Oh no, I do remember. On the second day when I came back and I did some green screen pickups, or it was like the third. I think there was a third day I did stuff. No, just 2 days.
Yeah, it was Christmas.
Yeah, I shot on Christmas. I think it was 1 day of pickups, but it was like a full day, and I did it on Christmas Day. I did a TikTok. I was, all made up and everything, and so I tried a TikTok as it's become a tradition, but I couldn't. Like it was lame. Like it was too lame. Like my TikTok videos are lame as the ones that are there, but this one was too lame, and I just decided not to post it. So I did a whole TikTok thing, and I was like, no, man, this is too sad. So there is an unpublished TikTok out there, or in here inside my phone. Next, I want to know what kind of product Cap uses in his hair for his YouTube videos, or does he have a stylist? The captain doesn't have a budget for a stylist. I don't know. It's some kind of. You know what? If I wasn't okay, hold on. I will be right back. Just give me like 2 seconds right now. Sorry, I'm back.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm sorry, Sammy. I don't think that you were heard by the audience during that
Oh.
screen, so people were
So
just
my
left hanging. But I think I heard
unlimited
you
power
saying,
did not go through.
yeah, I thought you were and I also didn't hear you because I disconnected from my headphones. But you were talking about Miss Ping Debunk was the best hair. Yeah, I had my shaggiest ever state was that I don't know what was happening. Like when I look back at that video, like I don't know what I think I was in some kind of like going through a depression and just didn't get a haircut for like way too long or something. I don't know. That was one of those like that year I just published that one video or something, right? Don't worry, I'm not going back to that kind of pace. But yes, I'm here with the exact patented product that the captain uses in his hair most of the time. Sometimes he doesn't put anything in his hair, but it's L'Oreal Paris Studio Line clean gel, in case that matters to anyone. And it's not like this is a rule. This is just what I happen to get for him on our budget of $0. I guess it's not true. I guess I should designate some of the very sizable Patreon budget to hair and makeup. But yeah, that's to answer your question. Let's get to other questions. Let's see. How has the community changed since like 10 years ago? Since you've gotten like a lot more. I like the conversational style of this. Since you've gotten like a lot more people watching nowadays and catching up with your old stuff. I don't see a lot of difference other than like I'm constantly surprised by more and more like dedicated fan base, if I can say that. Like I'm always in like a state of disbelief that people like Sammy and a lot of you guys in this chat exist that like for whom what I do doesn't seem to be like a momentary interest or just a phase of like, oh, that's cool, moving on.
Guys, I have a Captain D tattoo. Like literally.
Well, yes,
This is
and
the
that's
complete opposite of a phase.
and that's amazing. So that's all I can say is like I didn't used to whether or not that was happening, 5 years ago, I didn't feel that it was happening. Maybe there was like some chat, some like user group somewhere, some forum or whatever was happening 5 years ago. Did Reddit exist 5 years ago? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I don't know if there was like fans like talking to each other about my work, but it didn't feel like there was, and now there is, and they've like popped up in different venues and in different contexts, and that's kind of cool. So I don't know if I'd be doing this, or like, not that like just because people want it is the only reason I'm doing it, but like I think the encouragement needs to happen if you're doing something for years. So without the fans, I don't think I'd have the stamina to like make all the stuff I want to make, and obviously financially I wouldn't be able to probably do this forever, because like there's this, I don't know why, like it gets hard. I keep making my videos a little more elaborate and a little more polished, so it just like takes more and more resources. And if I was still doing some kind of other job and stuff, like I think the train would have left the station a long time ago, where I would have thought, well, that's not, why am I like torturing myself trying to do these two things in my life? So the fact that the fans make it possible for me to even do this is what's changed, and that's really special. Let's see. What are questions? Does the inevitability of death scare you? Asks Warm Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
Yeah, for you. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be disingenuous to say no. I'm sure it's scary to die, but it's going to happen to all of us, so we can take solace in the fact that no one escapes the Grim Reaper. Taryn presses one key to instantly roto a shot and somewhat render it. Yep, that sounds like something he would have a macro for. Hunter. How do you feel about Taryn losing an editing battle in the iGestine? I'm not aware of this. I don't know what happened. Was there an edit off that he lost? I'm surprised. This is way back when I commented about Taryn. Oh god. I don't know how to operate a simple scrolling chat, guys. This is where we're at. Looking for questions, seeing not too many questions. Okay. Are you comfortable with letting other people make creative decisions for Captain D? And could we have a video contest to become a slave in the Captain D industries? Some noobs might not have portfolios. Parentheses me. Let's unpack that. I guess, is he talking about like we co-wrote a script? I mean, I feel comfortable because it's a collaboration, and also I'm not like of the opinion that I always know best what's for like a thing that I simply made up a long time ago. Like if you get too precious about your little creation or whatever, it'll become old and moldy very fast. And I don't know, if anything, I feel like I like collaborating with people, and I like trying to look at my brand through fresh eyes. So I don't have a problem with that. And what was the other part of the question? Contest? Well, that's where, like, I don't know. I guess like fan art and things are always fun, but again, I don't have unlimited resources, and I don't have that much experience and that much vision to know like how to build this Captain Disillusion or Disillusion Industries empire. So I'm just taking tiny steps carefully, one at a time, to try to see how is it that, you know, how do bigger YouTubers be bigger and not pass out and die in a ditch. So I don't know about contests and all that. We'll see. When I need some new thing from people, I guess I might think about putting it in the form of a contest. A lot of back and forth between people. How did you get started with VFX? Surely I have answered this in some form before. You would know, Sammy, or someone in the Discord, or it was probably one of the other times I've done Q&As, but I guess the fast answer is I kind of liked visual effects from always, since I understood what they are, and I was in like TV production class in high school where I got to play a little bit with like the most rudimentary TV like broadcasting equipment, and also they had one of the earliest non-super $1 million 3D applications, Lightwave, on the Video Toaster Amiga computer platform. It was like this dedicated old computer that could do 3D, and it was kind of cool to be able to do that. So it just kind of, technology was becoming available personally to people just as I was coming of age to be able to do all these effects things. So it felt very enticing because it's like, oh, 5 years ago, only ILM could do this weird whatever. But now I can buy a thing and I can afford it if I save a little money, and I can do it on my computer. When you're living through that period of time, I don't know how everyone didn't become a visual effects artist. So that's how I got into it.
And then you graduated college in 3 years.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I guess I stopped telling the story of after high school. I went to like film, And I considered going to study computer animation and stuff, which would have been more effects adjacent, but I decided that I could always figure out effects stuff, but movie making and like the broader scope of like telling stories is like something I probably need. I can't like do it out of books on my own. At least I'm not that kind of personality. So I went to study film, but of course I ended up putting effects in all my little movies and things, and I still liked to do it. And then next thing I knew, I was doing a weird YouTube channel that does effects.
Oh yes, this animation thing is so hard. Why don't we stick to something easier, like visual effects, where I tear my hair out for 2 weeks?
Well, yeah, but to be fair, like, yeah, I've never been, because I grew up with movies, some like 80s movies and things, when there was like a striving toward realistic effects, but audiences were forgiving. Like if in Star Wars there's like friggin' stop motion puppets, like everyone's fine with it. Like today you wouldn't tolerate it, but so I kind of like don't care that much about the absolute perfection and accuracy of effects. I just think it's fun, like in whatever form they are. So I can even enjoy like a movie whose effects are not like super great. It's like what we were saying earlier. Like if someone made like an ambitious short film and they didn't shoot it that perfectly and the acting was ambitious but not that good and the effects were like a little bit dingy but it was like creative, I'd enjoy that, as opposed to like some really dumb pompous short film that has like beautiful Hollywood style effects. So I'm all right. Let's just say maybe that's why my effects are not that ultra high quality. They're just like, because I'm going for that. I'm going for the non-refined look and style. Yes,
and you kind of know me. I'm like in it for the story.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, and it's a YouTube and stuff, or doing things on your own is a perfect like attitude to have for that, because like I want to do an effect, but it's a tongue-in-cheek thing, because I mean what I'm doing now is not a good example of that, because I am spending tons of time on something simple, but usually it's like, oh, I want to get hit on the head with this thing. I'm not gonna like create a realistic simulation and like do all the little details to make it ultra realistic. It's just like a bucket falling on my head, whatever. I'll just do it in like a few minutes. So the point is that it's funny that a bucket hit me on the head. That's the goal there, the storytelling. All right. The Q&A transition was amazing. Thank you. I appreciate the attention to detail. I tried to make the stream interesting. I'm really sorry that there's a delay. That really undermines the quality of everything. Let's see. Anything else? Why are your Alan and CD characters' eyes mismatching colors? Are they? What's this person talking about? What do you think they might be talking about? I guess our eyes sometime. I wonder if it's because Captain D's on green screen so much, so the greenness of the eyes gets sucked out. Whereas Alan is never on green screen much. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws. Explain yourself, L for Light. Does the inevitability of death... How am I back?
Said that.
Yeah, what's
back
happening?
To death.
What am I guess the chat like jumps up when there's enough stuff, and it backs me up to where I am. Do you really paint half your face silver for every video? Yep.
Okay.
Let's just say that, yes. I'm so tired.
What I want to know is specifically, how did you do it for, I think it was BlenderCon.
Yeah.
World's Greatest Blender, where you like had to do it in like a minute or two.
Yeah, my biggest regret from that presentation is that I could have easily, but I didn't set up a little camera backstage that would have just like been a recording of that, so I could make a little special video where it's like, it shows you the real time when I leave stage. That sucks that I didn't do that, doesn't it? Because it's just, the answer is, I just like made up I did like a lower quality makeup, and I just practiced putting it on during that part of the song, and I did it a bunch of times, and it was very nerve-wracking and terrible, and a very like iffy thing to pull off on top of all this other stuff that I was dealing with in that presentation. But that's me. I'm the king of overcomplicating things. but it worked out, and like it would have made an awesome bonus video, because what was happening is like I just put all the makeup and things like right as physically close as possible to leaving the stage. And if I didn't originally in the real live stream, I like screwed up and I couldn't find the curtains where they part to leave the stage when I'm teleported away. So that was funny. But as soon as I left stage, I just had to get to a door a few feet away and get into a backstage area where I just everything is ready for me to grab a brush and like do all the things. But I just did it like as much as you could see. And if you really watch the video, it's kind of dark, so you can't tell, but it's not a very good makeup job. But I just rip off my, I don't know, like a shirt. I have the Captain D shirt underneath. My pants, the Captain D pants under my pants. The jacket is waiting there. The gloves are waiting there, and the keytar. And I just have to like I rip off my clothes in front of these two backstage ladies, and I put on the makeup as fast as I can. Then they help me put on the clothes, and then what I didn't account for is that there's a microphone threaded on me, so I kind of ripped it off, and then I did everything, and they're like, wait a minute, a microphone. And then it's time, like I was already kind of behind, and she's like, no, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna like sing loudly in the room, I don't have the mic. But she like this intrepid like woman that worked at the place like just like was hooking the microphone onto me as I was just like walking out onto the stage, and she did it at the last moment, and they turned up the sound, and I was able to like sing the stupid little part of the song. It was a very nerve-wracking time, Sammy, and never doing that again.
Sounds like a mess.
Yeah, but it would have made a cool video, wouldn't it? Because like just to see me like barely making it out, and it kind of looks all chill like when I come out. But it was like the most messed up like a thing that could have easily not worked, but somehow it did.
Yeah, I assumed it was like how Saturday Night Live does it with how they just stamp things on.
Oh, do they? I don't even know. That sounds cool. Like makeup wise, you mean?
Yeah, they like make custom stamps, and then like if they look away for a second, they're just plastered on your face. And
that's cool. I mean, I imagined something. I've dreamed of something like that. Obviously, having to do it every time. It would be nice if there was like I was thinking something of the reverse of like creating a little shield for the skin part, so that I can just messily apply the silver hardcore and then just like have the rest untouched. That way someone could splash me in the face with silver, just even for everyday filming, and just like it could be some kind of quick process, and then the rest is untouched. I don't know. Maybe there's a way, but yeah. Okay. What else we got? What else? How long have we been going? Do you think people are dying of boredom? Should I get back to this last shot?
I'd say get back to the last shot, and we can like fill in more as we go along.
Feel free to, if there's like questions, I guess feed them to me while I work, and I can try to address these things. But let's get back to work, everybody. For this challenging shot, I might have to do the key over. Okay, fine.
I do have a very lengthy question if you want it.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so I don't think a lot of people know this about you in chat, but you, like, 2009, 2010 ended up running, like, a high-quality alternative to YouTube.
Yeah, that's how it was marketed. That's how it marketed itself. But yes.
And so, like, knowing the context of the amount of work that you put into that, I want to know what you think of, I think it's called Nebula.
Don't know what it is. What is it? Tell me what it is and I will tell you what I think of it.
So it is basically a streaming service with a lot of your, like, people that you work with and enjoy and like. And what they're doing is like high quality stuff for like $3 a month. And basically, hold on, is there like a list of people? But like I didn't even know about it until I got to the end of one of Tierzu's videos, and he was like, "Yeah, this is a thing."
Okay. I happen to never have heard of it, so I'll have to check it out. It could be like I have to look through my Captain D, like the email that's on the YouTube channel, where I get a lot of these sort of like nowadays. I get, you know, any kind of businessy things like that. Like if a company wants to have me on their thing, or they want to advertise, they want me to do like ads, things like that I haven't done. I get a lot of those proposals in there, and mostly I don't, because I don't know that I want to do any of that type of stuff. I don't really look at it, but it sounds like they could have tapped me about that, like you know, it feels like the type of thing that's probably in my email, so I'll have to check. But so it's a platform that's just like a paid sort of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's people like Minute Physics, Lindsay Ellis.
Okay. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing it, but I bet you if I look through my email, I probably have the thing. I'll have to look into it. I'm really bad at like business or anything, knowing what's good for me or not. So I guess that sounds funny if in the context of I was at the top of this company, as you say, that was engaged in that kind of business. But just to be clear, it was like I was one of a number of partners that like started this business, and I was like the weird guy that was like the artist.
You're not now?
Well, I'm saying in this group, yeah, I am weird, but that was the weird, like there was like a businessy person, an even more businessy person, and I'm like the weirdo artist that is like, he's gonna do creative crap that's like somehow is going to be content, and then also talk to the other weirdos and get content and stuff. But I don't know, I'm sure I signed a NDA and things when like I was leaving that, so I guess I can't talk about what it was, and I honestly don't remember. It was just like, hey, I was part of I was looking, it was just another job kind of, and I was, you know, I kind of went into it for a chance to create cool videos and come up with ideas and maybe find other people and collaborate with them on these things. So it's not like I'm some kind of expert who knows what's good in this world, or you know, I'm not like the business savvy person. So that's why probably I haven't heard of this, and I don't know, and I have no idea if it's good. And hearing about it, I don't know whether or not I want to be part of it, but I'll have to look into it. I'm curious how they think that, I mean, doesn't YouTube do this kind of thing? Wait, where did my mat go?
I think a part of it is like generating revenue that isn't based off of YouTube's platform.
But what's the benefit of not just being on YouTube Red or whatever YouTube is that's the pay YouTube now? Do you know?
Probably not dealing with YouTube's system.
I guess. But in the grand scheme of things, you know, it's like if this business succeeds, wouldn't it just come up against all the same things that YouTube has to deal with and make those same kinds of decisions?
It looks very curated.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll have to look into it. I mean, I'm just here saying random things to challenge it, but I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, maybe, you know, maybe there's a place for Captain D on that thing. But the reason I'm like talking about it all carefully, because I've never had like a problem with YouTube yet. Like my biggest ongoing problem with YouTube is probably that people, you know, whenever there's like copyright things or whatever, and I never get it almost ever for the content in my videos, even though you'd think like I'm sorry if anyone's being annoyed that I'm like being so slow at my actual task. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be engaging in my answer. If I never very rarely get challenged on like whoever created like a fake video that they're doing a copyright strike, because I think people strangely understand that this is like a nice, like a pretty textbook case of like what I do is like a fair use type of thing, because you know, I'm literally like, here's your thing, here's my take on your thing, here's me doing all this other things around it, recreating it, reinterpreting it, critiquing it. It's like, what could I possibly do? What else could I possibly do to make it the most fair use thing ever? So I rarely have a problem with the copyright thing, but I do have problems with the automated copyright music thing, the content ID, because you know, someone asked earlier about this music we're hearing behind us. I had to go and dig up and pay for a service because I didn't want to deal with this problem on a live stream, but pretty frequently I use all this library music when I'm not using my own that I paid a lot of money for, that's like definitely I have the right to use commercially, and it gets flagged all the time because these tracks are somehow inside all these libraries that for some reason are in the content ID system. So it's like a non-stop, like copyright strikes don't even, copyright DMCA notices don't even like raise my eyebrow anymore. I see it, I'm like, okay, yes, it's for that track, I have the license to use the track, I'm counter doing the counter notice, and pretty much always they just go away. So that's my only problem with YouTube. Everything else is like, I don't know. I don't know whether my videos are not being recommended enough, or they're being recommended more than other people's. I couldn't even tell you if like where I stand with that, and so I can't be mad about it or complain. Like maybe if I looked into the data, I'd be like, wait a minute, I should be 10 times more famous or something. But I guess my ignorance is bliss, so I don't know. But maybe I need to research more, and maybe then the existence of that, what is it called again? Nebula?
I sent you a link.
Okay, thanks.
DMs.
I will look at it when I'm off the clock.
Which is never, but okay.
No, I'll try. Or I'll just, honestly, I'm curious to look through my email to see if it sounds like maybe I've seen that word before. So I'll look at my emails. Why is my butt transparent? Tell me that. There it goes. Okay. Any other super complicated business questions? I'm curious I want to push the limits of what I can like use my brain for while I do this.
You want to hash out like an agreement eventually?
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's do that on the stream. Like write up a contract for your services for me. I think let's figure it out in when my brain is actually able to comprehend information.
Chat, we've basically been working on like an internet trust fall system in which he trusts me to not leak anything.
And she trusts me to compensate her for her services in some reasonable manner. Yeah, you know, early days. I mean, honestly, like, this is my first video, like, trying to collaborate with other humans in some official capacity. So I don't even know what I'm doing. And also, I haven't had the chance to, like, float up from under the burden of this video to kind of assess what is happening and what are going to be my relationships with all these collaborators. Well, all three of you. But yeah, we'll see. First, I just want to keyframe chroma key this shot. I mean, like the Joey and the other guy that I've been giving some effects shots for this video, I've kind of like, not that I'm giving them easy work to do, but I'm starting them on like things that I just don't have the patience to do, and it's not very glamorous work, like rotoing things and like adding images into like the players or whatever. So it's like I don't want to scare them from like from doing more stuff, because if I had to roto shots for someone nonstop, I'd be like, you know what? I'd rather work on something interesting after a while. So, but I'm trying to like also like figure out, kind of let go of some of the more creative parts, obviously, and just have like, because I know that Joey does like 3D stuff, so like that's something I want to give him more, like more interesting things, like add in a creature here and just whatever, it should look like this, as opposed to like, I'll take care of everything, you just remove the tracking markers or whatnot. Wait, I did this already. What am I doing? I'm trying to... Oh, I didn't. Okay. Do this. Alright, keep me talking, Sammy. Keep me talking. They'll leave.
Fine, God. If we are a family at this point, can I call you Space Dad?
Oh, Jesus. Alright. You may call me Space Dad. That's not gonna be weird at all. Don't call me Space Daddy. Just Space Dad.
Stop! Don't even... Stop it right there.
Hey, you... I was just sitting here.
You're the one who added DY.
Well, you know, let's just call ourselves a crew. We're a space crew. That is what we are. A troop of go-getter cadets. Well, you guys are cadets, and I'm the captain. I'm the captain now. Inside mask. Sorry, what?
Chat's gonna like that one.
Oh, yeah. Inside mask. Add to inside mask. Okay. Good start.
Good start.
Now, the dreaded roto. I guess you can witness the true, boring, horrible process of rotoscoping. First, we gotta maybe clean up the garbage mad the rest of this thing.
What have you started?
What are they talking? What are they? How many permutations of daddy things is there now?
So many.
Oh boy. Why am I not seeing this? Oh, we're not even in the freaking composition, that's why.
I've made a mistake. I'm gonna keep the chat as is. It's a testament to history.
Don't chats... Oh, the chat is like part of the thing, right? When it's recorded.
Oh yeah, it gets replayed.
Excellent.
Although I do want to say, I'm about to say something cursed.
Okay.
On the drawing I sent you yesterday.
Oh god. What?
I tried very hard to not give you tracking nips.
Oh. That didn't even like... I rearranged some of them just to like make them more tracking marker looking, but then that never crossed my mind. I'm sorry, Sammy. I'm just a good, proper person, and I don't think about things like that.
You're just too wholesome.
Yeah, I'm too wholesome.
I
But
mean, there are some
that
jokes
is brilliant, though.
in some past episodes where I would,
I mean, I'm the one that jiggled my actual man boobs in the video, so I suppose it's all relative.
I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking
Yeah.
about something completely different.
Sure. What was? Oh, you had some idea, some raunchy idea,
Oh,
inspired by.
What was the train tracks video?
Right.
I'm like not even gonna.
It was like a
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was a quick D episode that had like 2 videos in it: the train track rescue and some the cup levitation, the magic trick. I think that's it, right? Is that weird? Okay. So what's the idea? Okay. It's the magician and the okay. Sure. You're an internet kid. Of course you're gonna be into that kind of humor.
Why?
I'm here trying to elevate the art form and make people think of the important things in life, not
Okay.
crotch dragons and is that a thing? I don't know. And nipple trackers, nipple tracking markers. I mean, this also, if you really, if all our minds are collectively in the darker, in the gutter, in the darker gutter, this silhouette is not really
The gutter.
particularly.
And then there's the worst gutter.
Yeah, the gutter of the gutter. Oh my gosh, there, I have more room. If I'm lucky, I don't have to roto that much foot and hand stuff. Oh no. Don't show up, little nib.
Alan, are you calling Sammy a zoomer? Technically, I kind of am.
So that's
Gen Z.
Z's boomer. Okay. Yes. Yes. Guys, all these terms. I mean, yeah, I think am I Gen X? I feel like when people were Gen X when I was a kid, like I was too much of a kid for Gen X. Like that was the people that were like going to college when like MTV used to play videos and trippy cartoons. Like that's Gen X. But I was like just becoming, you know, an adult. Like I was, so whatever comes right after Gen X. But is that Gen Z? Because if you're Gen Z,
I kind of have the similar problem. Like I'm kind of in between generations. Like
Yeah.
a little late to be a millennial or a snake person, as my plugin calls it. And I'm a little too like old to be Gen Z.
So we're probably both like that way out of sync. We're right in between, but on different generations.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cinematic universe. The out of syncers. I don't know. All right.
I mean, guys, I put him in a cool math T-shirt. Like that is.
Yeah. See, that's
Gen Z.
I'd never seen. That sounds like right after my time. So, because my time is more like, oh, what is internet? Students, hook up this computer. I don't understand. Like, we better. Does anyone have an AOL floppy disk with a trial, with a free trial? We used to, like, AOL would just be spreading around these disks where you somehow on the disk is what made it possible for you to have a free trial, and you could, or maybe that's not it. No, that sounds stupid. Like somehow it was like a thing where you could get a free trial, but you could keep getting a free trial if you like call them and say like, oh, I just moved or whatever. So I knew people in school that were like getting internet for free for an extended amount of time because they kept tricking America Online into perpetually giving them a free trial. That's what we were doing when I was a student. A little pre-cool maths era.
I mean, I have this like weird thing where I kind of grew up along with like smartphones being invented. So there's like a pre-smartphone era and then the post-smartphone era where I think a lot of people younger than me don't really remember that.
Yeah, that's an interesting time to grow up in. I went through all the way through like no one. The phone is like something from the movies, the big brick phone, to I had a phone in high school, but it was like a little flip phone with like a black and white LCD, and like you couldn't even put names of people. It was just like you've stored a list of phone numbers or something, and then like a fancier version of that, a Razr, and like my first iPhone. So yeah, kind of the same, but like all the way from no phone. And now I don't have the latest phone. Gotta upgrade my phone at some point. Maybe I'll upgrade before I take a trip. I'm going to be in England, if anyone cares, in the end of next month. But it's kind of like a fast-paced thing that I don't have time to like hang out with other than the people I'm going to hang out with. So I can't do like the thing I did in Amsterdam, like a meetup thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, is this for? Let me guess. Is it for some blogalypse?
Well, I'm gonna visit. Yes, my friends that did that. I think they're gonna show me the movie, so I'm excited to see that. That's on the agenda. I'm kind of doing like a little tour of the area because I never go to England almost ever. So whoever you can think of that's in England, I might be trying to see them or do stuff with them or just hang out with them. But I don't know. The agenda is not set, but I know that it's already what I'm planning to do is kind of like a tight schedule. And I gotta go all over. Friggin' England is like big and stuff, and stuff is far apart, and you have to take trains. Like, England should just be like what you think of when you think of movies and old-timey medieval stories. Like, it's just a place, and everything is there, like a theme park. That's the England I want. Friggin' York and London is like hours and hours apart. That's
just play the new Pokemon game. I mean, yes, it takes place in a region like England.
Okay. Good, yes, that's how it should be. Just give me a taste of things. I don't want the harsh realities. Oh, but before I do this... Okay, I will do this later.
Ooh, how on earth do you know the Zomblog guys? Hannah is an old friend of mine.
Well, oh, really? Oh, cool. Do you live in York too? Maybe I'll see whoever you are. Who is that?
Chaos?
Well, I know them because of what we were talking about with Sammy earlier when she was asking me about I was part of this company that was like trying to be a video platform, and one of the things or kind of the main thing we had to do for most of that time is just reach out to different internet creatives and filmmakers and people doing weird little web series and try to invite them to be on our platform. And they were just one of the ones that I saw, like they were making stuff. And I just looked at one of the episodes, like the first episodes of their Some Blogalypse series, and I don't know why, it just caught me, like, because I didn't know it's about zombies. It's like a comedy about zombies type of thing.
Do you want me to pull up your old writing about Zomblogalypse? Because I know where that's at.
Really? I don't know. Is it good or terrible? I don't know. I'm sure I was saying something complimentary, but I just don't know if I was sounding like a dumb idiot in my writing skills.
A little...
Well, I mean, if you want, I don't know. Where is that coming from? I don't want to know. I want to bury my past. But yeah, I don't know. You can pull it up. But to answer the question, Yes, I think, I don't know if I was the one that contacted them originally or someone else in our company, but I just kind of started chatting with them and telling them how funny their stuff was, and I became like long distance friends, but only I haven't really met all but one of them in person, because the last time, the only other time I've been to England is when I got to hang out with Miles, which is one of the 3 people that's the Zomblogalypse group that makes the thing. But I'm looking forward to meeting the other 2, meeting Hannah and Tony. And I mean, there's other people involved. I don't remember their names right now. But yeah, York seems like a fun place that is like an old time. It's like what's that movie? World's End or whatever. It's like one of those countryside areas of gothic-looking places in England.
It's like every movie based in England.
I guess that's true. But that one's especially. It's like I think it's a very ancient part of the country. Like it's got some like super ancient cathedral. Right, what are we doing here? So I need to add my... If you're in this watching me do effects, you're probably like not really getting your time's worth here. All right, finally gonna go ahead and commit to rotoing this foot for once. Surely this, excuse me, can be, yeah, it's fine. We can make this happen. The thing about rotoscoping is, the first rule of rotoscoping is,
get someone else to do it.
Don't rotoscope. Well, that's the second rule. Don't roto anything you can absolutely avoid. So I'd rather spend time on this lame process than do a single frame of something I don't gotta do. Okay, that's it. That's what we'll have to be. Okay.
Take it one step at a time, buddy.
Oh yeah.
One foot at a time.
Roto one foot in front of the other. I think I'll probably have to see the bottom of my foot somewhere along the way there. So let's just do this. No, that's not what I want. Oh, and I need you on here. What else we got out in the chat?
Lots of talking about London.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, speculate.
The general area. There's some York in there. No.
Good.
Who do people
think I'm going to collab with in England? I'm just curious, like a survey, like when I have done this journey, with whom would you want to then see some content come out that I am part of?
I'd imagine Tom Scott is around that area.
Yes.
But he kind of travels a lot.
Yeah, he travels a lot. He's one person I met. I gotta tell you guys aren't finding out I'm going to England before him. I didn't have a chance to tap him to see if he will be in town. But like that's because well, I guess I don't know him that well, but we did hang out when he visited here, so I think it's only right if I have a chance, if you know, I need to make time to hang out with him. Whether he will be there is another question. He does seem to travel a lot. I don't know. All right, how much of this is gonna? You don't want to go frame by frame with Roto. You want to like know where you're going, from where you're starting and where you're going, and what's the least amount of keyframes to get there.
You know, I was wondering why Tom Scott chose to like collaborate with Michael Reeves, because they're so like different personalities.
Oh yeah, I didn't see what I didn't see this video of their is that something new?
They drove a car. It was a couple months ago, but they drove
Oh,
a
okay.
car with delay attached to it.
Oh,
Like they set up cameras and they like delayed it, and they wanted to see how quickly they would get sick. And I'm
oh
like,
shit.
okay, why? These are two different personalities. What's going on here? And then I realized that one of Tom Scott's very first videos is like a
Yeah.
younger version of him trying to like remove his fingerprints with pineapple juice. And then you realize, oh, he's just
He just,
he's the same person.
yeah, this is what Michael will become, when he settles into, I guess, a more adult personality. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, like, I think I retweeted an old video of Tom's once, like, where he's, like, just threw a drum off a cliff just to do, like, a little drum sting for a joke or something, like something very early internet type of video. And I think he had long hair, right? Like he had a long ponytail. I'm sure he wants to erase that image of himself from the internet the way I want to erase my old presence, my old pathetic writing. Is that from the... Just tell me, what is the source? Like, is it a blog we had on the thing? I don't remember writing things somewhere.
So it is
About...
apparently called The Splice.
Oh, that thing, yeah. So, I can't even begin to explain the... And also, I'm not allowed to, probably contractually, to explain what is the splice and when that was and why. But it's suffice to say, I was in a position where we just had to keep a blog that had no purpose, but we had to feed things into it, and I was just stupid. Okay, then doesn't that splice thing have some kind of post about just me talking about the Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers themes music? Like,
No, I haven't seen that, but now that you tell me it exists, I need to look for it.
why did I do that? I shouldn't have, but yes, I think this is something I remember. Like, I had to write this pointless blog, so I'm like, what am I going to talk about? Yes, I'm going to describe the musically critique the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers theme song in like a very detailed way.
Yo, that's like peak YouTube now.
Just what, old Disney tunes?
People like dissecting something
Oh yeah.
just for the hell of it.
Well, yeah, definitely. Last night I was like, what did I tweet? I said like, about the the thing everybody's retweeting about movies. What's your controversial movie opinion? And I said some dumb thing, right? Like just a joke. But I posted that after giving up on like a much more like earnest post, but it was also like just criticizing the movie industry about how like I don't know, I think how like the behind the scenes of movies is overshared by studios and in attempts to manipulate our perception of movies long before they come out, and like moviegoers today, average moviegoers talk about movies the way the most hardened 80s movies executives did, something like that, and I couldn't find a way to phrase it in a way that just didn't sound like the most stupid, like whiny kind of like outraged tweeter. So I just gave up and then I posted a stupid joke instead,
I don't know,
which
like
I think is the better decision. I think when you're not sure, my personal experience, if you're not sure how to express some authentic thought you have on Twitter, then you should probably not do it, because you'll be like, why did I do that? I should have just joked. Yeah.
I don't know. Reading like some of your old work, like it is so obvious that it is you.
Okay.
If that makes any sense, but like I can also tell that you've improved like so much just writing Captain.
Oh god, it's making me cry just thinking about the dummy that I was. Like, because I can't even, like, as we've established a lot, I can't even look at my old episodes from last year. I cannot look at without cringing. Oh god, you're making me cry on camera. But yeah, like
Good.
I can't
Be comfortable in your masculinity.
I can't like it's like the kind of tears you get from like when you're just got in a fight with someone, you know, like you were just tough talking, like, oh yeah, you want a piece of this, like, and then you have tears in your eyes from like confrontation. I don't know. Is that a thing that happens to people? I feel like I've seen that. Like when a tough guy cries from a fight, but it's like a manly.
It's from being
cry.
punched in the face.
Yeah, like I don't know, some weird, non-standard like reaction. Sorry, rotoscoping is a very mind.
Rotoscoping makes you cry.
Yeah, I mean, it's like something inside me is like, no, it shouldn't. No humans should have to do this. Wonder if there's any like digital artists out there that are like maybe cringing at my technique. Like they're like, dude, you could save so much time if you only like did every whatever number frame. Because then, if you do all the even frames, you always have a middle frame in between them. And then it's easier to do the in-betweens. Listen, buddy. Listen, imaginary critic that I made up in my head. I know what I'm doing because I've done this like a bajillion times. This
Yeah,
week alone. One OCD thing I like to do is, even if obviously not every frame needs to be a keyframe, but in the end, even if you're not doing anything special to them, I keyframe every single frame just because I know, so I know it's not gonna like go weird if I change something. Do we even need this? Yeah. How long have I been doing this part? Just since the last Q&A.
Oh, I have no idea, but you should probably do a Q&A.
Okay. Yes, I hate this foot and I want to leave it. Okay. Let's do a Q&A. Wait, let's save our work and then we come back to a Q&A. Oh god. Feels very night lounge. Oh, Sammy, you can't hear the little music, but I changed the little piece of music that happens on the Q&A break, and it's more like loungy, like, hey, let's pour some Chardonnay and look into each other's eyes, like that kind of musical sting. So what's up? What's going on in this chat? Let's see.
Also, I have like a warm-up question for you.
Oh yeah.
Considering that our birthdays are so close, and it's coming up.
Yeah, I saw you say something about that. When
do you want to do like a drunk stream? Because I'll be 21.
Oh, nice. I'll consider it. I don't drink enough now to get drunk, but maybe I'll do it on just like for entertainment, like that drunk history thing or whatever.
Like, I'm pretty sure if we did the same amount of alcohol, I would end up getting like way more wasted than you. So
yeah, I guess I could make it more like, yeah, if I'm not getting drunk enough, I'll interview you because you'll be the source of entertainment as the more drunk person. Well, we could try that.
Boy, okay.
Yeah, let's put that on the idea pile. I don't know when is. So like in between, I don't know when your birthday is. My birthday is
April 20th.
Okay, and I'm April 13th, so somewhere halfway there. I don't know. Yeah, maybe if I'm not like literally in the middle of the last throes of the video, well, whatever video at that time is going to be happening. Yeah, could be fun. Questions. Corgis, I don't know. My thoughts on corgis. They're cute. I don't currently have a dog. But yes, the couple of times that my family has had a dog, it's always been strangely brief, but also the dog was always like a small dog, and I don't think we had a corgi, but I think they're cute. Is that what the word is? Corgis, or am I misreading? And
No,
it's some other word.
that's right.
Yes. How to? What did I miss? Did I miss something? How to properly name loads of files in a project folder to be able to return and find everything again. Well, for the last couple of videos, as you might see in this, if you're like paying attention to what things are named in this project that I'm working on, I've been trying to use the sort of industry standard way of naming things, because once you have a ton of shots and a ton of scenes, you want to like just number them, because you can't be going like, oh, the this segment or whatever. So I just put like the number of the scene, the letter X, and then it's weird, like the shots are numbered where you go like shot number 1 is 010, shot number 2 is 020, shot number 3 is so on, and that it looks like 30 or whatever, but it's actually the 0 at the end is like in case you decide to wedge in a different shot and your thing is picture locked, but you have to like put something in. You can call that, to put a shot in between shot 1 and shot 2, you call it shot 1015. So like it's like using it like letters in a way, like, and then it sits halfway between shot 010 and shot 020, shot 015, and then if you gotta wedge something in between one of those, you can call it like shot 01. This is boring, okay, but anyway, just number things consistently, and I just try to have few folders, and like I also kind of did this. I don't know how to show this. Maybe we can see it on my split screen. Let's see. Did it happen? I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. So, wake up. I usually just have a pre-comps folder in After Effects and an assets folder, and I dump everything in them. I made these subfolders today, or for this whole video, because I don't know, I'm just trying to be extra organized because it's a little bit extra complicated. But usually it's just like one folder for assets, one folder for pre-comps, and then a main comp. And just keep it simple. I don't know. It's different for everyone. Any new Fluid Sim songs? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to jump ahead. There seems to be like a long question. I have a few deepfakes of you that I have done of you at varying qualities. Would you watch them in the next Discord Q&A? A lot of the Discord members want you to see all of one of them in particular. Okay, yeah, I guess we haven't done Discord Q&A in a while, but I feel like it's like after a video is nice and released, and since I've been like lagging with the video and some non-standard videos have come out, I haven't done the Discord side of things. But I guess next time I'm on there, just show them, point me to where they are. I mean, I'm scared to look at deepfakes of me, but if you work hard on them, I guess let's take a look. Any new Fluid Sim songs? You know, I like, it's half joke, half like, if I was gonna do some kind of electronica things inspired by Captain D aesthetic more, or like just music for future, like music for the show, I would do it like under the Fluid Sim like band name, but I have not done any of that yet. And also, music is one of those things I'm kind of having a thought about getting someone on that, because let's face it, I'm not like that good at that, and it's just a little tinkering hobby. And there are much better artists out there, and lots of other creators use talented musicians to make their stuff, so maybe I should try doing that too. I'm sure they could imitate my style, so-called. Could Blender Reality song ever be on iTunes? It's on, Sammy, you could probably find this.
SoundCloud?
It's on SoundCloud. The Blender Reality is on the Captain D SoundCloud, which has a few random tracks from the show, and that's all. That looked like the latest thing I had uploaded back then. Okay, someone is asking someone else a question. Guys, just talk amongst yourselves. I'll just relax. Do you think on what? Do you think on to some sci-fi micro animation project? What do you think this question means, Sammy? I'm not sure. Have I thought
I
about doing some other sci-fi
think
project, maybe? Yeah.
hmm, other
Uh,
sci-fi, yeah. Animation was
well,
actually one of the things in the brainstorming
oh
document.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
You're gonna kill me for that idea, but
Well,
um,
yeah. It's the thing that I need is a kind of project where you know every frame is going to take multiple days or of man hours of work. No, to seriously to answer this question, I will say, like I went to the Blender conference the last time since the time that I did the my talk. I didn't the last. Why am I having trouble communicating this? There's been another Blender conference since the time I performed, and I just went as like a participant, and it made me feel like, man, I want to make something so that I can come back and do some kind of talk again. Maybe not be crazy and do a song, but just this time deserve to speak at the Blender conference because I did something in Blender that was like cool. So in that sense, I'd like to maybe have an idea, a very loose idea for something where I would be more animation involved. That's a Captain D episode. But again, I don't know if I have time, and it would be like kind of just a fun thing, and it wouldn't really necessarily like be involve a lot of debunking or whatever. So I don't know. Quantum Infinity collaboration with Corridor, maybe soon. All I have to do is get out of Florida and visit LA or like
that's
have
impossible.
yeah, it's impossible. I
Once you
mean,
enter Florida, you do not leave.
yeah, you can fly to Europe. It's like it's you can go over the water, but through America, that's a dangerous journey. Through the swamps. No, yeah. Next time I'm in LA, I'm probably just like I'm going to England, so all these England people, like, hey, I'm gonna try to meet everybody I can because it's a rare occasion. But same thing with LA. Next time I'm going to LA, they're like top of the list, I guess. In the YouTube world. So and they seemed amenable to that. So like we've mutually nodded at each other like I would like to collaborate with you. The debunk music, yes, the debunk song is on there, like in its entirety, whatever. It's not a very fully produced song, fully structured song, but it is there. So you can make your own debunk. No, don't do that. Don't use my music without permission, please. Or at least credit me or something. Um, uh, what is this? Would love to get a high quality version of Captain Music. Can't download. Yeah, well, like it's a SoundCloud thing, so I don't have it set to download because like who wants to download that? And also I don't really want to make it super easy for all of my music to just float around and whatever. Just like enjoy it. It's not worth having in your like iPod if people carry iPods still. Like just it's on there, but like also it's easy to download from SoundCloud. I just want to make it a little bit of a challenge for you. What do I think of Ian Hubert? He's amazing. I met him at the last BlenderCon. Hung out with him. I was like fanboying and just telling him about like doing the thing where I tell him like about his own videos, like, oh yes, and I love how you did the thing, and that old video you have where you showed like your studio, that was interesting. How did you make that prop? Like that's how I was with Ian. He's, if you don't know, he's this like Blender artist and just 3D and effects artist in general. That I kind of he's the guy. If you follow Blender, well, if you follow Blender, you know who he is. But he makes these very interesting tutorials, like a tongue-in-cheek tutorials lately on how to do things in Blender in just a minute, like how to make something really cool and very, but it's not really like you can't do it in a minute, but he just does a minute-long tutorial that's very funny and very engaging. It makes you want to try Blender really hard. This is probably asked in the past. Huge question. What is your favorite color? I guess maybe I think that question's kind of like makes no sense. Like, colors are colors. Their variety is what makes them interesting, and like at the same time they're not that important. Lots of people can't see color, don't perceive color correctly, and it's not a big deal. But I guess if I had to narrow it down, I suppose I like red, and I tend to, I sit in a big red room. Alan wears a big red shirt. Red is fun. It's the color of danger and passion, and I don't know.
It's so like you to give a like 5-minute explanation on why you like a color.
I like red. Next question. Okay. That's it. There's no more questions. We have answered. Did I miss? I probably missed questions up top.
Somebody is like, will you replace Sammy with Taryn? And we have completely different skill sets.
Well, I mean, I don't need an editor right now, so no, because that's the one part I could sort of do that isn't like nightmarish to do, because, and also, if we're thinking about it in terms of like, my goal is to outsource or like share the load of the labor of making a Captain Disillusion video. What is the most replaceable part of what I do, or like something that someone else can take over, and what is irreplaceable? I feel like the heart of what will keep Captain D videos is the, well, performing them, right, being me, and then the editing decisions and like picking the right takes of how I said something, choosing the pacing of the jokes, deciding like what becomes a voiceover, what stays an on-screen line. And that's the editing part, and that's like what's like Taryn's job is, right? Like just editorial decisions, taking the footage, molding it into like a piece of content. So I don't need I'd love that someone could do that for me, but I feel like that's the part I have to replace the last, like someone where I'm like, I'm such a big industry and this is such a big brand, like someone can just take over the actual, like I'll sit in, I'll visit the editor once in a while, I'll be like, yeah, I like what you did there, but this whole thing has to go. No, I know I had a better take there, please. Like, I'm not there. And also, that part is kind of comparatively the easiest to do. I'm not rotoscoping a foot. I'm just like, hey, this take or this take. Bam. Should I wait a beat longer? Should I cut it? I got this part. But I can't do what Sammy helps me with, or, like, that's something that clearly makes it much easier. Like, hey, I can't think of all these, what the heck I'm going to do next? Like, let's brainstorm some ideas. Or how do I structure this story or whatever? I don't know how we'll end up collaborating. Frankly, we just like did this one script, so I don't even know how this works, but I could tell that it's something like I'm in the fog and I need like someone's hand to hold sometimes, like, oh, is this what I'm doing? Okay, this is what I'm doing. But with editing, I can figure it out. Too long an answer? I think it's too long an answer.
No, I think like, when it comes to writing, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say a thing, hold on. But like,
you're becoming me.
Stop it. Stop the transformation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think and I told you this before, but I think a lot of my job is just throwing as many ideas as I can out. And like a lot of them are shitty.
No.
And you latching on to the ones that you like and going forward with there.
Yeah, I'm curious to, we're talking about this and it's like an experiment in progress. I think you're right. I have yet to like stop and like look at the thing you just sent me last, for example, to see some of these, just to exercise my brain. But I think, when YouTubers talk about burnout and this kind of thing, where it's not even necessarily physical, like, I'm tired of making videos or traveling or whatever. It's this psychological, like, mundanity of like doing the same type of thing, the same workflow, and like your brain just starts to have difficulty of thinking new ideas and thinking outside the box, looking at your own stuff that you do. So maybe this is what we're doing is what many YouTubers who feel a sort of inkling of burnout should do. It's just like, hey, what does...
Hire non-YouTubers.
Well, yeah, and just someone who is familiar with your work, but like likes it for in a specific way, like has a take on it, you know what I mean? Like I think that you're not just like whatever dumb thing I do, you love it, right? Like you're a person with opinions and you kind of have your own creative voice, and it's just like it's interesting because it's like I'm floating in outer space, and like all of a sudden there's like a moon, like now I can be on a moon and I have a frame of reference, and like, and you know, like having a conversation with another person floating in the air or like standing on the ground. I don't know if that analogy makes sense, but yeah, I think I think what we're doing makes sense. So let's see if it helps me creatively, or if I'll just be more confused, or Captain Disillusion, the channel will become your voice and everything, and I'll just like succumb to like and just take my hands off the wheel and somehow like whatever. No, I think this has to be a collaboration, because like this video, like maybe I shouldn't have done the gray hair thing. Like it was your idea and I liked it, but then I didn't let my analytical brain decide that like this is a catastrophic task, like adds a catastrophic amount of work to the production, and there's not enough of a benefit. That's my bad. Like that's like, hey, you like creative ideas and practical fruition, bringing those ideas to fruition is like a crucial step. That's kind of up to me. So
yeah. And what I was gonna say with the gray hair thing was like I had it like originally down as an idea, right? And the last draft I sent you, I don't think I had anything gray hair related, just because you were apprehensive about it.
Right. Yeah. I guess I brought it back.
You brought it back. You messaged me at midnight my time.
Sorry.
And we're like, well, if I did do this, what joke would I use here?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the kind of...
I can't like...
No, I mean, I'm not like... I guess I was trying to grasp for an example, but it's... My point is that it's great that I wouldn't have thought of the gray hair thing probably, right? But that doesn't mean that it means like it's a good idea. Whether to do some good idea or not is still a question I must ask myself, and like it's better to have an idea that's good that came from someone else and not do it, rather than never have any new ideas and stuff and struggle to come up with fresh thoughts. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say with it, is like it could be something that we should absolutely do, or that I should have absolutely included, or something I should have absolutely not. But the point is, I'd rather have some fresh takes and fresh ideas and things pitched to me. Like I think television shows and stuff, like showrunners and head writers and television writing rooms, like they don't sit there and come up with all the brilliant ideas, right? There's a room full of writers that pitch crazy stuff, and then that writer, the head writer, has to be like, is this our voice? Is this idea good, or is this idea good and it fits the thing? And then of course in production they have to say, no, we can't have a space battle to make a joke or whatever. So we're all learning. Are we answering a question? I don't know why we're talking about.
Not really at this point.
Yeah. Any estimated release date on next vid? I mean, February or like... Well, okay, it would be very upsetting to me if it was in February. I mean, I'm trying my damnedest that it's basically become like, this is the January video, which is a little bit cheating, right? This was supposed to be the December video, but it's in a way like the thing I resolved to do was to change the type of video I'm making every month. So like the next one won't be a regular Red Room video. It has to be a Quick D or a VFX School. So, but it didn't line up that the first video was going to be the traditional video. And that kind of irked me because of like a sort of OCD, like, I don't know why. Just I thought it would be nice if it started with the old school video in January and went on, to rotate. But now, because of my lateness, it will be the first video of the year will be the old school kind of video that everybody's apparently missing and wants to see. So maybe it's for the best. Or maybe I'll have to... I'll definitely, when it gets time to CD slash episodes, the ones about video technology, I'll probably produce a couple of them at a time the way I did when I did it before. So I might release 2 at a time to make up the technical difference in schedule, the stuff I kind of owe you guys. So what do you think about that? Then everything will be fair and square. Oh, did I not name somebody who has to... I'm sorry, I don't really like keep... I guess
No,
I used to say the names of the people, but I don't...
The person who asked that is named Space Daddy.
Oh, I really didn't catch. I was like, oh, I see the icon of the question. Not interested in who it is. Space Daddy. Did they change it just for us now, or is that a coincidence?
Yeah.
All
They
right.
did.
All right. I guess I'm Space Daddy from now on. Who do you tie your... why do you tie your tea bag to your cup handle? What advantage does this offer? Please answer thoughtfully and seriously. This is very important. Well, let's break this down, okay? I am part Russian, part Armenian, and not much is said or made of my Armenian side, but Armenian people, I don't want to get too like national, what do you call it? Like not racist, but like stereotyping. Armenian people are like the Italian people of Eastern Europe. And we gesticulate and speak with our hands, and so this could happen, this could fall out at any moment. I need to secure it. And even when I'm being pretty calm, for my psychological well-being, I think it's important to just feel like something has an anchor. So like everything is stuck. In case you don't know, lots of things here on the space station are actually... Why am I... Oh, I just realized there's a foot in the shot the whole time. Are taped, are Velcroed on, because gravity could give out at any moment. So, you just want to have that little extra step of level of precaution and safety.
Forgot to pay the gravity bill again.
Yeah, it's it happens around here. I'm having to take care of everything. Sometimes I forget. What else we got? Foods you enjoy. Yeah, I think, Quantum Infinity. I've said the name. I didn't address this earlier. What foods do I enjoy? I don't know. Like we were discussing last time, because although I'm not like strictly fully vegan, I enjoy vegan cuisine a lot, and I get to eat it a lot. And so like a lot of stuff, like food has become like... And because my girlfriend's a very good cook and like food, like, I don't know, she understands food and nutrition in a really good way, and it's like been an education for me. I just kind of think of it as like paint and colors and like elements, and like this is what you need. This is the sort of like amount of elements you need, the amount of protein, and I've been trying to like work out. One of my resolutions that's kind of so far not completely broken is that I've been working out every single day so far this year, but lots of people make it through the first month, and so I'm trying to get enough protein and this and that. But in general, I don't know, I've literally not answered this question in any understandable way,
in any cohesive manner.
No, like what, I don't know. When I was a kid, I really because I'm from Russia, I like potato things. Anything with potatoes in it, fried potatoes, give it to me all the time. But now it's like I don't really eat potatoes as much, and I'll just have like any red-blooded American. I'll have a burger. But a nice Impossible Burger, a vegan one, and there's two awesome different places within reach from us that make amazing like vegan junk food type of stuff. So we do that, but sometimes like today I ordered Pei Wei. I just had some kung pao chicken or something like while I was trying to edit, and I just got like a Postmates delivery food. Get it in my mouth, done. Okay. So I don't know. I don't have very adventurous taste, and I eat lots of sushi. Yes, that's true. Like almost every week, one day I'll get like sushi or poke or something like that, and that feels light to me. Like anything that's not a big fried hearty meal feels like I'm taking it easy. So, that a good enough answer? I think that made me sound almost human, right?
Yeah, almost.
Is it originally pronounced Meligenian? Meligenian. Yes, that is how it is pronounced originally and still. That is how you pronounce my last name. I think we've... Okay, what is the best potato preparation? Yeah, just put it in a skillet with some oil and fry it up.
The best potato preparation is pierogi.
I guess, sure, yes. But also, I like... I would just eat, as a kid, I would eat like fried potatoes in like an omelet. Like, you do a fried potato thing and just pour like eggs, and it's like an omelet of potatoes. I don't know if that's weird, but that was like maybe my favorite dish ever. Like, that was my standby thing I would request as a little kid for like my grandma to make or something. And some onions in there or whatever. It's very, that feels like the most Russian thing you could think of, I guess. Potatoes and eggs with onions.
Dump some vodka in it. It's fine.
Vodka. Just vodka all over everything. No one agrees, apparently, but that's fine. French fries, sure, yes. That's a kind of potato. I think that takes us to the end of the questions, doesn't it? Did I skip something up top? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to... I don't want to give up. I'm going to tackle this stupid foot. All right? I'm going to just work on it a little bit more. Unless, Sammy, you feel like you got to move on with your life?
I'm good.
Okay.
Let me grab an energy drink.
Please. I mean, at a certain point, dear viewers, it becomes like a toss-up between I'm entertaining you, but also I'm slowing down on the video on which I am late. So, like, we don't want to do this too much because it's not helping anyone. But it's nice to hang out.
Yeah, is this a good break from the past few days of
I mean, a little bit, but because it's its own stress, right? I'm having to talk to other human beings, and we're interacting. We're dealing with the fact that the stream is not technically going perfectly, and I'm trying to stay engaging, but it's slowing down the process of the work. But it's giving me, in a way, like a sort of break from, yes, the mundane task. So I don't know. The answer is I don't know. Is this a good thing to do? I hope that people are finding this fun. But we shall see. But I think this is going to be our last little, like, part, session, whatever. If anybody says anything interesting in the chat after this, I'll do a brief little talking to you guys in just a minute. But let's see where we can get with this damn foot. I've seemed to have filled in a lot of the... Oh, there it goes again. It had to come back for the last few frames, didn't it? Okay, we're good there.
Just don't move the foot, ever.
No. I was trying to... When I was filming this, I tried to wiggle my foot in a way that wouldn't go outside the screen. I'm looking at myself on a big, like, monitor, so I could tell what I'm doing. This is this was a second pickup day that I kind of did it by myself. Like I came and I just started the camera on my own and I do these things. But I could see myself and I was like, and there were moments when my foot wouldn't hit the thing. But then for some reason in editing, I decided that this particular moment of my wiggling best communicates my stress and whatever. And that little decision results in me sitting for a while and doing all this tracing. Is that smart? I don't know.
No, but I'm not here to be smart.
I'm not on YouTube to be smart. Why is... Oh, it's because the... It's fine. Rotoscope it anyway. And what's cool, I was glad to discover somewhere since, like, After Effects, I want to say, like, 2018, or even just whatever, After Effects CC, like, generation, or maybe even earlier than that, the masks, how do I say it? The masks work with motion blur. Like, you do a mask, and then you turn on motion blur in that layer, and the mask respects motion blur. That didn't used to be the case. So, like, it helps with roto sometimes. In case anyone wants to, know details like that. Because otherwise it would just be these hard cutout shapes. You can blur them by feathering the edge, but they don't react to motion. And don't look real. Oh god. Undo, undo.
No, you get no undos.
Do you ever draw in real life and want to press undo? Because you draw,
yeah.
So yeah, happens to me all the time. Or the rare occasions that I draw something not on a computer.
Or it's like, I want layers.
Well, yeah,
on just
that
a
too.
normal piece of paper.
That too. I was when I first started using Procreate, the iPad app for the painting app. You know it, right? You must know Procreate if you draw anything.
I do, yes.
Yes. So, it's like it's got all the bells and whistles and layers and things, but I was looking for tutorials to learn, just to learn to paint good in the app, or just someone who was using the app that was a good artist. And I came across this guy. I don't remember his name. I wish I could say specifics like that on the fly. But he had good tutorials, but he was like a painter, like like a concept artist kind of guy. And he had a style where he just ignored layers. I mean, I guess a lot of digital painters work like that. They just kind of work in an analog way, but on a digital app. And it got me like, I was like, that's cool. You know what? Yeah, screw layers. Why deal with all this complicated stuff? Just paint over things and refine things. But when it comes down to it, I can't work like that. I gotta split things up sometimes. It's just easier. You have to have some classical training to pull off this no layer thing. All right, let's see what we got here. So hopefully, with motion blur
it will look
and
okay.
a little bit of tweaking, yeah. Here's weird thing in After Effects. Motion blur is never in phase with like any camera's motion blur. I'm finding myself constantly having to go into like here and shutter phase this to some other like number. So then it kind of like goes to where the real moment of shutter happened on the exposure. And it's always like at the end or at the beginning. I don't know. That's something to look out for when dealing with motion blur. Yeah, don't like that.
We are hour 3.
Hour 3. Hey, I've seen streams that go on for like 5 hours. Are we not cool enough for that? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do 5 hours. But yes, I'm wrapping up. I feel like I want to prove to the world and myself that I can get through some
that
part
you
of
are
this
in
task.
fact alive and
Yeah.
working stuff.
Well, no, just like, but just on this shot, I want to feel like I'm not giving up. I mean, technically, hold on. Do I have to do this foot? No, right? I just have to do the hand. Let's just push through. Emily is home, and she's also wanting to have dinner. So I'm keeping everyone away from their life, but they must stay. They must watch. We'll get through this. I can do this. All I have to do is roto my hand for like a couple of frames. It's gonna go right there. That's all. No, 2 times. Damn it. Okay. Let's do this thing. We can use the same layer.
I don't know. You're like obviously getting a lot of like, hey, where's the new episode? Like
Yeah.
type things, and like I just want to be like, guys, it's really good.
I think it's safe to say that. I think it is good. I try, yeah, I mean, if you can imagine, like, if you're doing what I'm doing right now, not to be like, whatever, I don't want to sound too, even with you guys who understand the inside of the process, it's not like, hey, don't rush my art or whatever, but honestly, like, it's a little bit sad when I'm like, I'm doing this, like I spent a day doing this kind of thing, and I'm trying to, it's one little grain of sand finishing the video, and then I go on Twitter or something, and there's like somebody's going like, where's the damn video? What have you been doing? Like, stop slacking off or whatever. And it's like, it's hard to, not for the sort of immature part of you to be like, you know what? Screw you. I don't owe you nothing. But you just have to understand that people don't, you know, people aren't living your life. They don't know.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. But like, you know, just like we don't know what's super easy and convenient about other people's lives, we also don't know what's their weird little stupid problems. That's why, like, you know, I allow for the possibility that friggin', you know, I don't know, what's a famous person? George Clooney has problems and things are sad, but he's a millionaire, you know, world's whatever, handsomest man circa some year, but also probably some kind of issues and things that make him cry. And that is true of me and you and everybody else. So, something to keep in mind.
I still get people who are like, when's book 2 coming out? And I'm like, never.
Yeah. Everyone's, I mean, at least with those kinds of things, for any of us that create any kind of content or art, or even, I don't know, educators, whatever, people that are like producing things and putting them out into the world, it's good that people, it's all, at the end, it's like people caring, right? People wanting to, appreciating the stuff you give them, and they just feel like, well, I need it. You gave me the drug, and now you're withholding it. Like, it's not fair. But, yeah, it's not like they're not being rude to you for no reason. They're being, maybe from your point of view, rude or demanding, but it's because they're appreciative of what you do. So it's like, weird, like,
yeah, Ellen,
yeah.
when's the gritty reboot of Citizen Mobsit coming out?
Yeah, my goodness, I think it's its own gritty reboot. I don't know. Grateful for the experience of making a strange Russian movie that has no target audience and a very immature, like, weird story, but I wouldn't put it on my reel or anything. Yeah, that's something no one asked because no one saw it. At least I don't get requests about that.
Because you've hidden it from the world.
Not hidden it. It's not. No one wants to buy a. You know, if it's like,
Where is the
People
buying
don't-
page?
Well, it's too expensive to try to sell a thing that no one buys. Like, was it on Amazon? I don't know. Was it on Amazon before? I think that's the only place you could buy it. But like, Amazon doesn't want my dumb movie that's not. Like, if no one buys it in a year or 2 years, then like it's not gonna be on there. I don't even know. I am amazed. I mean, again, I don't want to get into a whole conversation about like how my merch is laughable, but because believe me, I want to make fun, cool, modern, cool merch, and it's on the list of things to do. But right now, I still have my very old DVD, which is one of those things we used to use for watching videos. Sammy, it's before your time.
You mean that thing that I use as a video coaster? Or
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
as
So
coaster.
on my website,
Yes.
you could buy a very old piece of media, which is a DVD containing a very old set of episodes and some weird extras I made, and I don't remember what they are. And I think like audio commentary on my weird early videos. And people still buy that. Like, someone bought it. Like, I think at least two orders for the DVD happened this week. Like, I get here and there. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Inside baseball, but like, this is why my merch is like not like being handled by a company right now, even though I'll probably do that when I have new updated merch. But right now, I just like, it's me, it's good old Alan putting the thing in the box and sending it to you. But wait, what was I saying? Yeah, people buy the DVD. Like, who can watch a DVD? I don't know. And knowing the DVD is from 2013, it can't have that new of a material. But people buy it, and I can only surmise that it's because they like what I do and they want to do it out of support.
Obviously.
Yeah, and it's not like they think they're gonna get cool stuff on there. But I feel bad because it's like I'm forcing them to buy something that they wouldn't choose to have. So I feel bad about my merch, and I'm gonna get new merch. But I said that like a year ago, right? So. But things are in place. Things are in place for it to happen. I just haven't pulled the trigger. I've already literally used that term. I'm aware. Sammy, stop pressuring me.
Oh,
Stop.
I'm not pressuring
What is
you.
this
I'm
interrogation?
opening my PayPal right now.
Whatever. Thank you. What? Wait, PayPal? What does that mean? Are you paying me or am I paying you? Oh god.
That is the wrong address.
Are you ordering a DVD? What are you doing?
Maybe?
Didn't you already have a DVD? What did
No,
you?
I have.
Oh, you have
I
a pin. That's.
I need to round out the collection.
Oh lord. Well, I mean, we like work together. I could send you a DVD. You don't have to buy it. Okay, that looks like a hand, right? Right, why have I been doing it like this? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. Let's do it this way.
Oh, now somebody else wants to buy the DVD. And they're asking if they buy it, will you sign it?
Thank you. I think maybe there's an option. Is there an option when you buy the DVD to have it signed? I feel like I had that and maybe I took it off because that was too pompous and nobody...
I don't see anything for that.
Right, well, excuse me.
Look, guys, the last time I ordered something from him, I got a tattoo out of it.
Well, to be fair, it's because it was so late. I was so late sending out your order. I like drew a little cartoon, a little thing on the packing slip, just to tell people. Did we talk about this?
Yeah, I actually linked them a photo.
Okay, yeah.
What do
So
you mean you're late though? You sent that out like the day after.
no, but there was a reason. I think. Oh no, because the doodle was about because you made your
Yeah.
documentary. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No, because I feel like I'm conflating it with like I've done that in the past because I like sometimes like I was delayed sending something out, so I would like draw or just write a note or something like as a little like I guess yeah you're the only one I drew like a thing, but I think I would like draw my logo or something, just add a little personal note because like oh I'm so sorry that you know it took me so long to send a thing. It's not I'm not always late with things, but it just happens sometimes with the orders. So yeah.
Although I think I might hold off on buying it because I need to change my address again.
Oh yeah. The life of a student. What am I trying to do? Oh, how do you?
Every time you change your address in the state of Oregon, they don't send you a new ID. They send you a sticker to place on top of your old address.
Huh? On your ID? That
Yes, and
sounds so. That looks so shady.
it looks so shady.
That would never fly in Florida. I feel like they would be too suspicious. Oregon sounds like, hey, whatever. We're easy.
They're not even updating our IDs until because there's that real ID thing for like flying within the United States, and that goes into effect in October, and they're not updating our IDs until like July.
Oh. That's bureaucracy for you. Okay, we're almost there. I'm gonna stop, I promise, because enough is enough. Am I right? But, give me 2 seconds. That's not the way I wanted things to go. Fine, I won't do the way I thought I was gonna do it. But that's okay.
Low-key jealous of how like clean your green screen work is.
Oh, thank you. I mean, once... I could never get my green screens to look half decent, like before the days of HD. And then now I'm just like... I just switched to filming things in 4K or like UHD, and then it's like you almost, and then if you just like know the basics of the little tricks of keeping it clean, it's like it's hard to go wrong. Like it's very forgiving. Did you remember? I don't know if you saw, like I shared that British show Blue Peter, like they're talking about blue screen. A little old time like 70s video from a 70s show about how blue screen works. And they're like filming it on old stuff and like super ancient equipment. And this green screen set, this lady is on like a blue screen that's barely blue, and she's sitting on like a tarp that's on a Apple box. And that thing like keys pretty clean. Like there's a giant shadow under her, and they keyed it. Like it's not perfect, but she's there, and all the background is knocked out. It's kind of amazing, like old time, like analog hardware based, technology for green screen and blue screen and stuff. It's like it worked in a way better. Like at least it was dedicated hardware that, was somehow like perfectly tuned to all these difficult situations. Nowadays, software, you gotta really
The
play
background
with it.
boo button.
Yeah. I mean, there's a way to do green screen if I just wanted it to look like green screen, I didn't, like, I was on a fake background. Even like when I'm doing, I would say, quick D episodes, I'm not going this crazy with it usually. But I'm just trying to make it look half decent, because it's not meant to be, you know, it's meant to be like a real thing. So...
Yeah, you've gotten this far in this episode, you might as well just, like,
yeah.
full ass it instead of half ass it.
Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna press this one button, and then I will stop. Promise. Or no, just, I'll do the same task I just did on this other layer, on this other mask. And then we'll address a few final things anybody has to say. Ask your final round of questions now. Begin now. Immediately. Last chance. Ask me the most messed up, personal thing. Well, no, don't go weird.
Oh yeah, you've
Just ask me something that's hard to answer, and don't be inappropriate. Oh god, that's not gonna work, is it? It's going to look terrible. Oh, my foot has to come back. I'll have to fix that.
You got this.
No. I don't got this. I mean, I'm also, like, not making the best decisions while I'm being on camera, so, like, there's probably things I would do a little different. I'm just trying to, like, get through it. Okay, there's just one final little round of... Let's bring back the hand. Oh no, I knew that they had that problem there. What do I usually do with this thing?
Sulfur's World Travel is asking, how many subscribers do I have to get on my channel before I can do a collab with you? And the answer to that is 23, because that's the number on my channel.
There you go. Asked and answered. I'm not a subscribers snob. I don't think I really check how many subscribers people have. His subscribers, all I hear YouTubers saying nowadays is that subscribers are no longer a metric that matters. Number of subscribers, but maybe that's something like YouTubers that have lots of subscribers say. I feel like people still want that. People still aspire. People still asking audiences to subscribe and like. It must make a difference. I mean, that's why I think I talked about this before, like, I like collaborating, or I strive to collaborate with people who aren't even on YouTube, basically, because then I don't have to think about YouTube things, and I don't have to think about their audience, or like, how will their audience jive with my audience? Just a cool person that does something cool, and they're not a YouTuber. I mean, that's why I wanted to get Beekman in a video, and then Erica Lins, the Cirque lady, people like that. I'm not even looking at what the heck I'm rotoing at this point. Right, guys. What this is proving is that I cannot speak to an audience and actually rationally work on Roto. So we're gonna have to bring this to a close, but not before to answer like the one question or whatever anybody has
no,
left.
they gave you a lot of weird ones.
All right. As this is the last session, let's get to it. Oh, am I? Okay, sorry. I'm like looking at myself on a delay, so I feel like I didn't press a button that I already pressed. What do we got here? What would be your personal hell? Is that the first question I could consider?
Yes.
Okay, my personal hell. Right now it feels like never finishing this episode. Like if I found out now that actually something is wrong, I'm not actually alive. Like I got hit by a bus and I didn't notice, and I'm in purgatory and I'm working on this video, and it will always feel like I can kind of finish, but it's always just out of reach, and people are constantly asking about what's going on and they're missing me, and I feel like my viewers and fans and stuff are on the verge of giving up on me, but like I'm also like, oh, I'm sitting on a good video that's about to come out. That feels like a personal hell. Can't think of anything worse at the moment because it's my reality. What are your thoughts on all the politics? The people on
Very
the one
political.
side, right? They're like, what are they thinking? Because the other side, frankly, they're not like even such angels themselves, right? I mean, you gotta think about the people on both sides, and like, but at the same time, both sides is not always good, because sometimes someone is right and someone is clearly wrong, and I wish that people had the braveness to say what is the truth, because like, you know, I think if I was running for the offices, I would be able to make a difference. But it's kind of like a lost cause at this point in our society. And I just think that there's got to be a change. And I hope that you can be that change. How are you though? I'm alright. Getting through it. Can you sing the what? Something?
The alphabet.
Everything. Wow, it doesn't read as like the full alphabet, that string of characters. Like, yes, it's A, B, C, D, F, G, but then you're like, oh, they must have just started pressing random keys, but it is the alphabet. Backwards really fast. I really cannot. But that just free associating, that makes me think of, that flashed into my brain. When I was a little kid, in Russia, there weren't a lot of shows for kids, and there was also only like 2 television stations that were nationwide, and then 1 local one wherever you lived. And they had one of the few children's shows was like an educational show that was called, I can't explain its translation, wherever that guy that speaks Russian is, he could probably try to explain it to you in the chat. It's called like ABC, it's like the beginning of the Russian alphabet, and it was like A, B, C, D, E, F show, and then like a suffix that makes it sound like an event. So it was just like a bunch of weird people in costumes, kind of like a Barney kind of thing, but a little less baby. And it was like a man dressed like a dog, kind of like the way like Lester looks in Beakman, like a half-hearted costume, and then someone else, and like a lady that's like a little Bo Peep kind of person. I don't know. It was just a cast of characters, and they were like doing educational things. So your ABC song thing made me think of that for a moment and remember my childhood. So thanks. How many cats are enough cats? 3 cats in your house, other 3 cats that live out in the street, that in your neighborhood that you feed. That is, trust me, that is the maximum that you want to handle. And especially if the 3 that you do that are outside cats that you feed are like the rest of your neighborhood and immediate surroundings are kind of frowning upon the fact that you're doing that, and they kind of don't want the cats around, but you try to do it clandestinely, and you kind of have to look out if anyone's outside to go feed them. That is like the limit of what you should be able to have to deal with on an everyday basis.
I do need to ask though, like out of, for sanity's respect, are they fixed at least?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
we did big.
You don't need more cats.
No, no, no. Well, of course, our house cats are fixed, but even the cats, the street cats, we meticulously. They're very wild. Like they don't let you touch them, kind of cats. But we trapped each of them back years ago and like took them to a humane society and had them fixed and released them back. And it was a big mission thing to do because it's like dealing with completely wild animals. And they gave us like they do a thing where they give you the traps and you have to like catch them however you can. We're talking about cats too much, but yes, they are fixed. Everyone's fixed. You know when street homeless animals are fixed, they cats at least they get a little clip, like they clip a tiny little bit of their ear, and that way you can look at them and know that cat's okay. They're fixed. They're not like spreading more cats around. How many? Yes, this we covered this subscriber question. What's your opinion on religious appropriation of gendered race politics? Well, I believe I covered it in that video. Unless I don't remember, did I get interrupted from talking about it? I really meant to talk about it, and I'm working on a new podcast that's going to be all about this topic. Just trying to get some advertisers on board. It's not going good. How big? Oh, sorry. How big is percent of all dimensions in which you're working right now? What? Am I bad at reading or is he bad at writing?
I
and
also.
how many of them have you working forever? Hey, if Sammy's gonna put it on her list to figure out what that question means, and then she'll tell me, and then I'll answer you.
Oh, cool, because I don't know either.
Can we have a goodbye hug? Of course. You can have a... No. Cyber hug sounds somehow automatically dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have a hug. Because I can only give a cyber hug, and cyber hugs
They've
sound
already
not
made
wholesome.
it weird with a space daddy hug.
Yeah.
So.
They did. Yes. You guys made it weird. Yes, you made it weird. That is also the name of a podcast, isn't it? Is there a podcast named You Made It Weird? Something on the comedy on the Earwolf Network or something. Okay, I think we did it, guys. Wait. I scrolled down some more. Never mind. You guys, I was so close, but you're asking. It's okay. You're asking more questions. I love Soviet Storytime. That's you. You're saying a funny thing. Permission to take your voice for deepfake as well. I don't know. I don't know about this deepfake things. I don't give you permission for something I don't really understand what it is. So, but you know what? It's the internet. You're on the internet. I can't stop you from doing whatever strange thing you want to do. But I'll come around Discord sometime to look at this deepfake business. Alan Melik Space Cat Daddy confirmed. Guilty as charged. Thank you, super long username, for saying my work is awesome. Thank you for the nice, kind words that you'd like to see more of my work, but that I don't owe you anything. I appreciate you guys just, hanging in there and like understanding, or I don't know, like I guess you'd have to tell me, but like I feel, because there's all these like, let's say, general audiences that are just like there, hey, where's the new video, and it's like it really ingrains in a YouTuber, I think, for many YouTubers, this feeling like, well, if I'm not giving the video out, I'm like not, wanted in any other sense. So like it feels like, well, God, to have a right to exist, to have a place here, I gotta put out a video. And like I think a lot of creative people on YouTube or otherwise get trapped in that sort of mindset. And the only way out, or not the only way, but like a nice way out of that is to interact with people who watch your stuff and to talk to them as a human being and to see them as human beings, and for us to kind of like hang out like this. So I think that this kind of stream and stuff helps with that. This is the part of the stream when I go to the end and I get overly sentimental and drag out my outro and goodbye.
You could cry again.
Yeah, I could cry again. I need to rotoscope some more so like my eyes really get teary and just the tears start going. Yeah, I mean, I think we've said everything there is to say. How do I usually do this? Hold on. Gotta make my transition speed nice and slow. So yeah, Sammy, thanks for hanging out with me for such a long time. And
Yeah,
kind of
no,
being
thanks for having me.
my wingman, like talking and helping me sound like a person, like a human being, and managing this rowdy chat. And everybody else.
Yeah, so rowdy.
Yeah, so
You guys
well,
are doing great.
Yeah, no, thank you, everybody. Yeah, wow, we got like a bunch of people. It's more than I expected. For like a secret stream that's not public. All right. Someone wrote a question in the form of saying goodbye, sir. I'll take that as a hint. I didn't check if the next thing I'm going to do right now is going to cut off your voice, Sammy. I think maybe it will not. But let's see. Let's try this. Say something, Sammy, and let's see if you can still talk.
But I don't want to say a thing.
All right. Good. Well, it's just as well, because we both need to shut up finally and say goodbye to the viewers. And
Goodbye,
I mean,
everyone.
yeah, I guess just know that this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna just go eat some food now, and then I'm gonna come back, sit in this chair, and keep doing it. I'm gonna check what Joey has accomplished today and what the other VFX artist accomplished today, or maybe, well, he has to start on a new thing. And we're gonna go from there. I might even resort to working with someone on the sound design, although by the time I'm doing sound, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, the video is almost done and I can probably manage that part on my own. But anyway, thanks again for hanging out. I hope the next time you see my face, it's gonna be in the new video, and I hope it's coming at the end of the month, by the end of the month, as soon as possible. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.